The massive Imperial flagship Eternal Dawn emerged from hyperspace like
The silence in the command room was heavy as the massive gates of the Galactic Council Station finally came into view. Captain John Davis stood on the bridge of the USS Dakota, watching the enormous structure grow larger through the main screen. His weathered face showed no emotion, but his hands gripped the armrest of his command chair until his knuckles turned white. 3 months late, Lieutenant Steve Parker said quietly from the navigation console. He didn't need to add anything more. Everyone on the bridge knew what that meant. Outside the viewports, they could see the other delegations already docked. The Kretak fleet was unmistakable with their sleek silver ships that looked more like art pieces than war vessels. The Varathi crystal ships sparkled even in the distant starlight, their ancient technology a mystery to everyone. And there were the Zephan dreadnoughts, massive war machines covered in scars and weapons that spoke of countless battles. Compared to these massive fleets, Earth's small group of ships looked pitiful. The Dakota, the Phoenix, the Liberty, and 3 smaller escort vessels. Each ship bore the same strange marks and discoloration, though anyone looking closely might notice they looked more like old stains than battle damage. Ambassador Lydia Brooks entered the bridge, her diplomatic uniform crisp despite their long journey. She had spent weeks preparing for this moment, practicing speeches and studying alien customs. None of that preparation had included being 3 months late to their first meeting with the galactic community. "Captain, we need to dock soon," she said, trying to keep the worry out of her voice. "The longer we wait, the worse it looks." John nodded slowly. He reached up and touched the comm button on his chair. "This is Captain Davis to all ships. Prepare for docking. Remember, we're representing all of Earth here. Act professional." The docking procedure went smoothly, though John noticed several alien vessels moving away from their approach vector. Whether this was normal procedure or deliberate disrespect, he couldn't tell. As they secured to the station, he could see alien faces pressed against viewports watching them. The docking bay was massive, designed to accommodate ships from dozens of different species. The human delegation walked across the metal floor, their boots echoing in the cavernous space. Alien workers stopped their tasks to stare, making clicking and chirping sounds among themselves. The council chamber was even more impressive, a sphere of holographic displays and floating platforms, with delegates from various species arranged in a complex hierarchy. The humans were directed to the smallest platform, tucked away in a corner where they could barely see the main proceedings. Vex Thor, the council leader, appeared as a shimmering hologram, its crystalline body pulsed with colors as it spoke, its words translated by their earpieces. "The Terran delegation arrives at last," Vex Thor announced, its tone carrying clear disapproval throughout the chamber. 3 standard months after the appointed time. Several delegates clicked and chirped what could only be laughter. Tarvex, the Kretak representative, made a gesture that their briefing materials had identified as contempt. Ambassador Brooks stepped forward. "Honored Council, I apologize for our delay. We encountered unexpected challenges on our journey here. Earth is eager to join the galactic community and contribute our knowledge and resources." "Challenges?" Tarvex interrupted, its melodic voice somehow managing to sound condescending. "Perhaps the Terrans are simply not advanced enough to navigate standard space lanes." More clicking laughter echoed through the chamber. John felt his jaw tighten, but Brooks continued calmly. "We are prepared to demonstrate Earth's capabilities and discuss trade agreements, territorial boundaries, and technological exchange." Vex Thor's hologram shifted to a deep purple. "Terrans will accept the assignments determined by this council. Your tardiness shows disrespect for galactic protocols. You will receive territory in the dead zones, sectors 7 through 12. Trade agreements will be determined after you prove your worth." The dead zones. John had reviewed the star charts during their journey, vast areas of space marked as uninhabitable, with no resources or strategic value. Essentially, they were being given the worst possible assignment. "With respect," Brooks said, trying to maintain diplomatic protocol, "perhaps a more detailed discussion of territorial assignments would be beneficial." We've prepared comprehensive data on Earth's military capabilities and resource contributions. The Zephon delegate, a massive creature that looked like it was made of rock and metal, spoke for the first time. Its voice was like grinding stone. "Show us these capabilities." Brooks nodded to John, who activated a portable holographic display. It showed clean images of Earth's fleet, technical specifications, and military rankings. Standard diplomatic presentation materials. The chamber fell quiet for a moment, then erupted in what was clearly laughter. The Vorathi delegate's ancient form vibrated with amusement. "These are your war vessels?" Tarvex asked, making that contemptuous gesture again. "How charming. They barely qualify as transport ships by our standards." John noticed Steve Parker's hand move toward his sidearm. "Then stop. Good discipline." They had all been briefed on maintaining calm under provocation. "We appreciate the Council's evaluation," Brooks said smoothly. "Earth is eager to learn and grow within the galactic community." Vexthor's colors shifted to a dismissive yellow. "You may begin patrols of your assigned sectors immediately. This council expects regular reports. Any violations of galactic law will result in immediate expulsion from this body." The meeting continued with other delegates discussing matters that didn't include Earth. The humans stood on their small platform, ignored by everyone except for occasional glances that ranged from dismissive to openly mocking. When they were finally dismissed, the human delegation walked back to their ships in silence. Only when they were aboard the Dakota with the airlock sealed behind them did anyone speak. "Well," Steve said, removing his dress uniform jacket, "that went about as expected." John moved to the observation port, looking out at the alien vessels. Their technology was clearly superior, their ships larger, their presence in the galaxy established. But as he watched, he noticed something. The alien ships were pristine, gleaming with pride and power. The human ships, by contrast, were stained. Dark marks covered the hull plates. Some areas showed hurried repairs, and one section of the Dakota still bore the distinctive pattern of something that had burned through the armor and been patched from inside. "Captain," Steve said quietly, "should I tell the crew about our assignments?" John turned back to his officers. Lydia was already at a terminal, reviewing the data they'd been given. The dead zones weren't just worthless territory. According to their own reading, something was very wrong with those sectors. High energy readings, distorted communications, and worst of all, no ships that entered certain areas ever reported back. "Tell them to prepare for patrol duty," John said simply. "And Steve?" "Yes, sir?" "Make sure maintenance gets those hull stains cleaned up. We want to look professional for the next council meeting." Steve nodded, though they both knew the stains would come back. They always did. It was just a matter of time before the humans encountered whatever made the dead zone so dead. As the human ships detached from the station and set course for their assigned territories, the other delegates watched from their observation decks. The humans departed without ceremony, their small fleet disappearing into the darkness of space. In the council chamber, discussions continued about various topics. Trade routes were adjusted, territorial disputes were resolved, and new technologies were shared among the established members. "The Terrans seem quiet," the Vorathi delegate observed during a break in proceedings. "All new species are overwhelmed at first," Tarvex replied dismissively. "They'll learn their place soon enough." Vexthor's hologram pulsed with a thoughtful green. "Did anyone else notice their ships?" "Primitive designs," the Zephon delegate grumbled. "Barely space-worthy." "No," Vexthor continued. "The markings, the stains, those weren't decorative." The chamber fell quiet for a moment. "Probably just poor maintenance," Tarvex said confidently. "New species rarely understand proper ship care." The discussion moved on to other matters, and the mystery of the human ships was forgotten. After all, what could a species that arrived 3 months late possibly know about real combat? Outside the station, the human fleet was already adjusting course for Sector 7. Aboard each ship, crews prepared for what they knew was coming. Weapons were checked, systems were tested, and medical bays were stocked with extra supplies. In the Dakota's medical bay, Dr. Nancy Wright examined the surgical equipment one more time. The tools were well used, and despite her best efforts, some still carried faint stains that wouldn't wash out. She knew from experience that they would be needed again soon. On the bridge, John sat in his command chair, studying the tactical displays. The dead zone showed areas of complete sensor blackout, regions where even quantum communications failed. His crew moved around him with the practiced efficiency of people who had done this too many times before. "Captain," the communications officer called out, "we're receiving automated warnings about our new patrol area. Standard safety protocols." "Anything specific?" "The usual. Avoid certain coordinates. Maintain minimum safe distance from anomalies. Report any unusual readings immediately." John nodded. Warnings that meant nothing because they didn't explain what the dangers actually were. But he and his crew already knew what lurked in the darker corners of space. They had spent months fighting their way through it just to reach the council station. "Set course for Sector 7, he ordered. "All ships maintain formation, shields at full power." As the human fleet accelerated toward their assigned territory, the council station grew smaller behind them. None of the other delegates bothered to watch them leave. Why would they? Just another new species being shown their place in the galactic order. Aboard the Dakota, Steve Parker stood at the tactical station, running final checks on the weapon systems. He paused at the secondary display, which showed the external sensor readings. There it was again, that slight energy fluctuation at the edge of their detection range. He'd seen it before, too many times. "Steve," John called from the command chair, "how long until we reach the first coordinate?" 12 hours at current speed, Captain." "Good. Notify all ships to run full diagnostics before we arrive. I want everyone ready." "Aye, sir." The crew continued with their preparations, their movements practiced and precise. They had done this before many times. The council thought they were giving Earth the worst possible assignment, but they didn't understand. The human crews had spent months clearing exactly these types of zones just to reach civilized space. As the ships disappeared into the darkness, the last thing visible from the station was the faint trail of their engines. And perhaps, if anyone had been looking closely enough, they might have noticed that the dark stains on the hull seemed to pulse slightly in the starlight. But no one was looking that closely. The aliens had already dismissed the humans as unimportant. They would learn their mistake soon enough. 2 weeks after their first council meeting, Captain Mary Johnson stood in the requisitions office aboard the council station. She had been waiting for 4 hours, holding a simple request form for replacement parts. The queue number on the screen still hadn't moved. The office was designed for multiple species with seating areas and interfaces that could accommodate any alien physiology. Mary chose to stand, partly because all the chairs seemed designed for creatures with more or fewer joints than humans, and partly because sitting felt wrong after so many months of combat readiness. "Next," the Varathi clerk announced in its musical tone. 3 beings ahead of Mary filed forward, receiving instant approval for their requests. Complex technical equipment, rare materials, entire ship systems, all approved with a casual wave of crystalline appendages. Finally, Mary's number appeared on the screen. "Request for standard hull plating. Grade 5, she said, handing over the pad. "Our ship sustained minor damage during our journey here." The clerk examined the request, its crystal body dimming slightly. "Terran vessels, hull damage, denied." "Denied?" Mary kept her voice level. "It's standard maintenance material. Terrans have not established resource credits. Furthermore, damage. Claims must be verified by Council inspection team. Processing time, 90 standard days." Mary felt the familiar weight of frustration. "We've already submitted damage reports from our journey. The battle scans clearly show battle scans." The clerk's color shifted to what Mary had learned was confusion. Terran vessels reported no combat encounters en route to station. Of course we did. Every single ship denied. Next. Mary walked out of the office, her jaw clenched. This was the fifth department that had rejected their basic requests. Food synthesizer components, medical supplies, even simple data access, all denied for reasons that seemed to change every time. In the corridor, she met General Henry Clark and diplomat Susan Taylor. Henry looked even grimmer than usual, his gray hair making him appear older than his 45 years. "Let me guess," Mary said. "More denials?" "The Kretak Trade Commission refused to even review our planetary resource surveys," Susan replied, her usual diplomatic calm fraying. "They suggested we learn better survey techniques from established species. The Zephan wouldn't grant us access to standard tactical databases," Henry added. "Apparently, our military structure is too primitive to understand their basic combat manuals." The three humans walked together toward their temporary quarters. The station corridors were busy with alien species, all seeming to move with purpose, while the humans struggled through basic administrative tasks. "I don't understand this," Mary said quietly. "We've met every requirement they listed. Our documentation is complete, our ships passed all technical inspections, and we've already deployed to our assigned sectors." "It's not about requirements," Henry said grimly. "It's about making us understand our place. They want us to give up and go home." Susan stopped at an observation window, looking out at the human ships docked along the outer rim. The Dakota, Phoenix, and Liberty looked tiny compared to the massive alien vessels, but Susan could see the human crews working tirelessly on maintenance and repairs. "Look at our people," she said softly. "They've been working non-stop since we arrived. Chief Martinez hasn't slept in 30 hours. Dr. Wright is running diagnostics on medical equipment that shouldn't need it." Mary followed her gaze and noticed something she hadn't paid attention to before. The human maintenance crews moved differently than the alien workers. Faster, more urgent, constantly checking their surroundings, like soldiers expecting an attack. Meanwhile, in the Council diplomatic zone, the daily session was beginning. The humans were required to attend, though they rarely spoke. Ambassador Lydia Brooks sat on their small platform reviewing notes that she knew wouldn't matter. Today's topic was resource allocation for the outer territories, the same territories the humans had been assigned to patrol. "The dead zones remain unproductive," Vexthor announced. "Sectors 7 through 12 show no resource potential and minimal strategic value. The Terrans patrol those zones now," Tarvex added with what might have been amusement. "Perhaps they will find some use for empty space." The Zephan delegate rumbled thoughtfully. "Unusual energy readings reported from Sector 9, possibly residual quantum fluctuations. Natural phenomena," the Varathi representative dismissed. "Those sectors are known for sensor ghosts, nothing of concern." Lydia felt her earpiece activate. It was John Davis communicating from the Dakota. "Ambassador, we've just completed our first full patrol of Sector 7, requesting permission to file our report." She tapped her acknowledgement, then raised her hand to speak. The council chamber quieted. "Earth would like to submit our preliminary patrol report for Sectors 7 and 8. "Unnecessary," Vexthor responded quickly. "Initial patrols rarely provide useful data. Wait until you've completed multiple cycles." "With respect," Lydia continued, "our findings may be relevant to the current discussion. We've detected several anomalies that Terrans may not contribute to tactical discussions until they complete orientation period," Tarvex interrupted. "Standard procedure for new species. Learn before attempting to teach." The other delegates clicked and chirped in agreement. Lydia sat back, noting that the orientation period hadn't been mentioned at any previous session. The rules seemed to change whenever humans tried to participate. After the session, the human delegation gathered in their quarters. The room was cramped compared to those assigned to other species, with basic furnishings that required them to adapt rather than being adapted for them. "They're not going to let us contribute anything," Henry said bluntly, "no matter what we find out there." "I managed to get 5 minutes with a Vorathite trade advisor," Susan reported. "He admitted that dead zones are usually assigned to new species as a test. Apparently most give up after a few months and request reassignment to civilized sectors. So it's a hazing ritual," Mary concluded. "More than that," John said, entering the room. "It's designed to break us. They want us to come running back begging for better treatment. Then they'll know they can control us. The group sat in silence for a moment. Through the small viewport, they could see the station's main docking area, where alien crews moved around their pristine ships with casual efficiency. "Captain," Lydia said carefully, "Steve Parker mentioned that our ships have unusual markings, stains that won't come out. Is there something about our journey here that I should know?" John exchanged glances with Mary and Henry. The military personnel shared some communication that the diplomats couldn't read. "Nothing relevant to council proceedings," John replied diplomatically. But that night, when most of the station was in its sleep cycle, Bill Martinez worked in the Dakota's engineering bay. He was cleaning weapons systems that officially weren't supposed to need cleaning. The energy signatures were all wrong for standard maintenance. "Hey, Bill," a voice called. It was Nancy Wright, the ship's doctor. "You still up?" "Yeah, you?" She held up a data pad. "Medical supply inventory. We're running low on trauma kits." "Again?" "Fourth time this month, and the council won't approve our requisition for more." Bill paused in his work, looking at the energy weapon he was calibrating. Its setting went far higher than standard military specifications. "You know, Doc, other species don't seem to run through medical supplies this fast." "Other species don't seem to run through much of anything this fast," Nancy agreed. "Have you noticed their ships? Nothing ever seems to break. Nothing needs constant repair." "Yeah." Bill returned to his work. "But their ships don't have the same modifications ours do." Nancy left soon after, but Bill continued working. Near dawn, he discovered something interesting. The energy readings from the weapon's power core showed traces of something that shouldn't exist. Exotic particles that, according to Council technology databases, were purely theoretical. He made a note to report it to Captain Davis, then decided against it. Some things were better documented quietly. Across the station, similar scenes played out. Human crews working through the night, maintaining equipment that seemed to require constant attention. Alien observers occasionally asked questions, but the humans offered only standard explanations. Preventive maintenance, calibration checks, standard military procedure. In the command center of the council station, automatic systems recorded these patterns: unusual power draws, excessive maintenance cycles, modified equipment signatures. The data was flagged for review but never reached anyone's attention. After all, new species always had adjustment periods. 3 weeks into their station rotation, the pattern was clear. Every human request faced maximum bureaucratic resistance. Every report was dismissed, every suggestion ignored. The other species continued their business without acknowledging the humans beyond basic protocol. Yet the human ships kept departing for their patrols, returning with their crews showing signs of fatigue that went beyond standard duty cycles. Ship rotations that should have been routine seemed to leave maintenance crews working overtime. Medical staff documented injury rates that seemed excessive for peaceful patrol duty. "They're testing us," Susan concluded during one of their evening meetings. "Everything about this is designed to see how much we'll tolerate before we break." "The question is," Mary said grimly, "what happens when they realize we've been through worse than anything they can devise?" John was quiet for a moment, then stood by the viewport. Outside, the alien fleets floated in perfect formation, their pristine hulls reflecting the station's lights. "They'll keep pushing," he said finally, "until they understand why our ships look different, why our crews act different, why we don't break. And then they'll wish they'd listened when we tried to warn them about the dead zones." The room fell silent. Outside, the station continued its endless rotation, maintaining the fiction that humanity was just another new species learning its place in the galactic community. In Sector 8, the USS Liberty reported another anomaly. In Sector 9, energy readings spiked beyond normal parameters. And in Sector 7, something that shouldn't exist had been detected at the edge of their patrol range. The Council databases automatically filed these reports under new species training data and marked them for review in 6 months, standard time. By then, according to historical patterns, the humans would either accept their place in the hierarchy or voluntarily withdraw from council membership. What the databases didn't account for was the possibility that humanity wasn't like other species, that their late arrival hadn't been a failure of navigation, but something else entirely. In the quiet hours before dawn, Chief Martinez completed his weapon modifications. Dr. Wright organized her medical supplies, and Captain Davis reviewed patrol reports that no one at the council would ever read carefully enough to understand. The bureaucratic nightmare continued, but so did human resistance. Not through protests or demands, but through relentless preparation for something the aliens couldn't see coming. Something that had already killed many humans on their journey to the council. Something that waited in the dead zones, patient and hungry. Something that the council would eventually come to understand was the real reason why humanity's ships carried the stains of war, and why their crews could endure any administrative torture the bureaucrats could devise. Because compared to what waited in the dark between stars, council paperwork was nothing at all. The first disappearance happened on day 28. The Kretak exploration vessel Silver Wind had ventured too close to Sector 9 during a routine asteroid survey. When they failed to report at their scheduled check-in, the council dispatched search vessels. They found nothing, not even debris. On day 31, a Varathi scientific probe lost contact while approaching Sector 11. The last transmission was a brief burst of static and what sounded like screaming, though Varathi claimed their probes didn't carry audio equipment. By day 35, 3 more ships had gone silent in the vicinity of human patrol zones. In the council chambers, the atmosphere changed. The dismissive chatter died down. Delegates spoke in hushed tones, glancing toward the small human platform with something that wasn't quite suspicion, but wasn't friendship either. Unusual patterns, Bexthor announced during the emergency session. Ships approaching Terran. Patrol zones experience communication failures. Coincidence, Tarvek said, but its melodic voice carried less confidence. The dead zones are known for sensor interference. 5 ships, the Zephan delegate rumbled. 5 ships in 7 days. This exceeds normal anomaly rates by 300%. Ambassador Lydia Brooks stood up. Earth offers full assistance in search and rescue operations. Our ships are already on patrol in those sectors. The chamber fell completely silent. It was the first time in weeks that anyone had acknowledged the human presence beyond basic protocol. Terran vessels will maintain current assignments, Vexthor responded after a pause. Search operations will be conducted by established species. With respect, Lydia continued, our crews have been patrolling those areas for weeks. We have detailed sensor logs and denied. Terrans lack advanced search capabilities. The session ended abruptly. The human delegation filed out, aware of the stairs following them. In the corridor, they were stopped by an unusual sight, an unescorted alien approaching them. It was Rix, a young Varathi engineer who had occasionally asked polite questions about human technology. Its crystalline form pulsed with nervous energy. Ambassadors, Rix spoke quietly. Forgive the interruption. May I speak privately? Henry and Susan exchanged glances. Unofficial contact between species was technically allowed but rarely practiced. Of course, Lydia said. They moved to a small alcove off the main corridor. Rix's glow dimmed to almost invisible. The missing ships, it began hesitantly. They were all investigating energy patterns, similar to readings reported from your patrol zones. Go on, Henry encouraged. Council leadership says the disappearances are unrelated to Terran presence, but the technical staff disagrees. We see correlations, patterns. What kind of patterns? Susan asked. Power spikes preceding contact loss, gravitational anomalies, and this is difficult to explain. The final transmissions contain data that shouldn't exist. Before they could respond, Rix noticed other aliens in the corridor and quickly moved away. Forgive me, I must go. But be careful. Something is not right. The humans returned to their quarters, finding John Davis waiting for them. His expression was grimmer than usual. We intercepted transmissions from the search teams, he said without preamble. They found something. The missing ships? Parts of them, twisted metal, hull sections that show damage patterns unlike anything in Council military databases. The search teams are trying to keep it quiet, but their crews are scared. That night, Captain Lisa Brown returned from patrol with the USS Phoenix. Her crew moved through decontamination procedures with mechanical precision, their faces showing a weariness that went beyond normal fatigue. Dr. Nancy Wright was waiting in the medical bay when the first crew members arrived. "Anything to report?" she asked, running standard scans. "Just routine patrol, Doc," the chief communications officer replied. His vital signs suggested otherwise. Elevated stress hormones, irregular heartbeat, dilated pupils, and the new hull damage. "Asteroid debris. Happens all the time." Nancy nodded, though the scorch patterns she'd observed looked nothing like asteroid damage. She'd seen those marks before, during their journey to Council space. Burn patterns from weapons that officially didn't exist. In the command room, Lisa briefed John privately. "We found the Silver Wind," she said simply. "And it was torn apart. Hull breached from the inside. Whatever killed them knew how to bypass Kretak shielding." John was quiet for a moment. "Casualties? 37 total. But John, that's not the worst part. We found their distress logs. They were attacked by something that matched their ship exactly. Like fighting a mirror image." The implications hung in the air. The threats they had fought on their way to Council space were adapting, learning, getting stronger. Meanwhile, in the Council's military planning center, automated analysis systems were processing the search team data. The computers flagged multiple anomalies, weapon signatures that didn't match any known species, hull damage patterns suggesting directed energy weapons far more advanced than Council standards, and most disturbing, biological remains that defied classification. The duty officer, a young Zephan named Crack, reviewed the flags. His training said to escalate unusual findings, but his experience said some things were better handled quietly. He decided to run one more analysis before alerting his superiors. The results made his rocky hide shift color with concern. The biological samples contained human DNA, but they also contained something else. Something that somehow incorporated the genetic markers of whatever species they consumed. The Silver Wind crew's tissue samples showed Kretak DNA merged with unknown organic compounds, as if something had been studying them, copying them, becoming them. Crack reached for the alert system, then stopped. The humans had been in those sectors for weeks. If these things could copy biological patterns and if human DNA was present, he needed more information before triggering full emergency protocols. Aboard the Dakota, Captain Davis convened his senior staff. Mary Johnson, Lisa Brown, Henry Clark, and the ship commanders formed a circle in the war room. The displays showed tactical readouts that civilian diplomats weren't supposed to see. "Situation is escalating," John began. "The things we fought getting here are now in Council space, and they're not just attacking anymore, they're learning." "How bad is it?" Mary asked. Lisa answered. "Silver Wind wasn't destroyed randomly. Whatever killed them had studied Kretak shield technology, learned their communication frequencies, and used their own systems against them. The aliens have no defense against something that can become them." "Recommendations? We need to inform the Council," Henry said. "Warn them about what we've encountered." "They won't listen," Lisa pointed out. "We've been trying to file reports for weeks. They think we're too primitive to have meaningful tactical intelligence." "What about the disappearances? Surely they blame us," Mary interrupted. "The timing is too convenient. Humans arrive, ships start disappearing in human patrol zones. They're already suspicious." John nodded slowly. "So we're on our own." Again, the room fell silent. Outside, the Council station continued its normal operations, blissfully unaware that its newest members were already fighting a war that could destroy everything they'd built over millennia. In her laboratory, Nancy Wright examined tissue samples that had arrived with the latest casualty report. Officially, they were human injuries from patrol duty. Unofficially, they showed defensive wounds from attacks by creatures that shouldn't exist. The wounds were healing incorrectly with cellular patterns that suggested attempted replication, as if the attackers weren't just trying to kill, but to learn, to copy, to become. She sealed the samples and marked them for deep analysis. The results would take hours, but she suspected she already knew what they would show. The next morning brought more disappearances. A Zephon battlecruiser, the Iron Mountain, failed to complete its patrol. This time, the Council couldn't ignore. Zephon vessels were considered invulnerable, their military technology the finest in the galaxy. The emergency council session was held behind closed doors, but the human delegation was summoned. "Explain," Vexthor demanded. Its crystalline form now a deep red that indicated anger. "Why ships fail only near Terran zones? We've been trying to submit reports about," Lydia began. Silence. "Evidence suggests Terran involvement in recent disappearances. Your vessels will submit to full inspection. Your crews will be interrogated." "That's impossible," Henry stepped forward. "Our ships have been in constant communication with Council monitoring systems. We've been following all assigned patrol routes. Yet only ships approaching your positions disappear." The Zephon delegate suddenly rumbled, cutting off the debate. "Combat alert. Priority 1. Energy signatures detected. Something approaches the station." Alarms began wailing throughout the council chamber. Displays lit up showing massive readings just outside the station's defensive perimeter. But there was nothing visible on any screens. Then the lights went out. Emergency power kicked in, bathing everything in red light. The displays flickered back to life, showing impossible readings. 20 ships had appeared from nowhere, surrounding the station. Ships with energy signatures matching various council species perfectly. But the real ships were either in the council chamber or accounted for through tracking systems. "Mirror ships," Vexthor announced, its voice carrying the first hint of fear. "Impossible. Purely theoretical." The human delegation stood calmly, while aliens scrambled for emergency positions. John Davis activated his private comm unit. "All human vessels, this is Delta Protocol. You know what to do." Outside the station, the human ships that had seemed unremarkable for weeks suddenly displayed capabilities that made the aliens freeze in shock. Weapon systems activated that shouldn't exist. Shields engaged at levels far exceeding their rated capacity, and movement patterns that broke known physics. The Dakota, Phoenix, and Liberty moved to intercept the mirror ships with precision that suggested months of practice against exactly this threat. "Terrans," Vexthor's voice crackled. "Over the general comm, explain your vessel's capabilities. Those modifications are not in your filed specifications." John looked at the council leaders, seeing understanding begin to dawn in their expressions. "With respect," he said calmly, "we tried to warn you. We've been fighting these things for months. They're not just mirrors. They're something else, something that learns from what it kills." The battle outside intensified. Human weapons fired energy patterns that seemed specifically designed to disrupt the mirror ship's copying ability. Alien vessels tried to join the fight but found their own weapons ineffective against enemies that matched their technology perfectly. "How do you know how to fight them?" Tarvex asked. "Because," Ambassador Brooks answered quietly, "we've been doing it since before we reached your space. We weren't late to your meeting. We were delayed fighting these things so they wouldn't follow us here." The council chamber erupted with questions, but they were drowned out by the sound of the battle reaching its climax. Through the viewports, they could see the truth. Human ships scarred and stained from months of combat, working in perfect coordination against an enemy the council was only now realizing existed. The blood on humanity's ships wasn't from poor maintenance. It was from a war they had been fighting alone to keep the rest of the galaxy safe. And now, finally, the Council was about to understand what that war had cost and why humanity had never flinched at bureaucratic harassment. They had faced so much worse. The Varathi engineer Zixtal was running emergency diagnostics when its appendage accidentally triggered a human data core. What appeared on the screen made its crystalline form pulse with shock. Holographic recordings filled the repair bay, images of space battles unlike anything in Council archives. Massive creatures tearing through reality itself, ships fighting against odds that defied military doctrine, and humans, bloodied and exhausted, standing their ground against horrors that made the current crisis seem small. Zixtail tried to close the files, but more kept opening. Combat footage from the USS Liberty showed Captain Peter Williams coordinating impossible maneuvers. Medical logs displayed injuries that shouldn't be survivable. After-action reports detailed 3 months of constant warfare in regions. Council maps marked as empty space. Emergency alert, the computer announced. Automatic data broadcast initiated, broadcasting to all connected systems. Zixtail scrambled to stop the transmission, but human systems were designed differently. The files were already spreading across the station's network, reaching every terminal, every display, every connected device. In the Council Emergency Center, delegates froze as their screens filled with human recordings. The carefully maintained calm shattered as reality forced itself into view. Vexthor watched footage of the Dakota fighting something that twisted through dimensions, its hull breaching while the crew continued firing. This is impossible. These battles occurred in sectors we map as peaceful. Not peaceful, Ambassador Brooks said quietly. Just cleaned up. By us. The Zephan delegate activated an isolated terminal, pulling up its own military databases. Cross-referencing the human battle footage with historical records produced disturbing correlations. Energy signatures match theoretical models of extinct threats, it announced in its grinding voice. Threats we believe destroyed millennia ago. Threats we designed our entire military doctrine to fight, hoping we'd never need it. Extinct threats fighting with current generation technology, Tarvex added, its melodic voice strained. This is not possible. Captain Mary Johnson stepped forward. They're not extinct. They evolve. They learn. They become stronger every time. We fight them. The ships you just saw attacking your station, they're based on technology they learned by destroying others. Your technology. The Council Chamber's main display activated, showing the results of the ongoing battle outside. Human ships moved with precision born of experience, their weapons targeting specific points on the mirror vessels that alien forces couldn't identify. How? Do you know their weak points? The Zephan delegate demanded. Because we've killed them before, Henry Clark answered simply. Hundreds of times. We lost ships, crews, entire colonies learning how to fight them. That's why we were late to your meeting. The data streams continued. Medical files showing Surgeon Mary Chen performing surgery on a crewman whose DNA was being rewritten in real time by alien contamination. Engineering reports detailing how Chief Bill Martinez had invented new weapons specifically for entities that could phase through normal matter. Tactical data proving that humanity had developed countermeasures for threats the Council didn't even know existed. Show them the deep space footage, John Davis said to his communications officer. The largest display activated, showing external camera recordings from 3 months earlier. The Dakota approaching what looked like empty space until massive creatures emerged from the dark between stars. Tentacles the size of space stations, ships that breathed and bled, weapons that bent reality around them. Footage of Lieutenant Steve Parker coordinating point defense while the bridge leaked atmosphere. Of Dr. Nancy Wright operating in zero gravity as the ship spun through impossible maneuvers. Of human Marines in boarding actions against vessels made of organic matter that regenerated faster than they could be damaged. This is your data, Vexthor said, its color shifting to confused. Purple. Why did your reports never mention these encounters? They did. Susan Taylor replied, activating her diplomatic pad. Every report we filed, every request for resources, every tactical briefing we attempted to share, all of it was dismissed, denied or ignored. She displayed the human submission logs, hundreds of detailed reports all marked as primitive species orientation data or new member adjustment period documentation. None had been reviewed by actual council members. We were fighting this war while you were testing our paperwork skills, Mary Johnson said bluntly. The battle outside reached a critical point. 6 mirror ships remained, their copied systems adapting to human countermeasures. The Council's defensive fleet, despite outnumbering the attackers, suffered losses, as conventional weapons proved ineffective. Captain Davis, Vexthor addressed John directly for the first time with respect. Your ships are severely outgunned. Why do you continue fighting? Because, John replied, watching the tactical display. This is what we do. What we've been doing for months. What we tried to tell you we were doing. He activated the Dakota's command channel. All human vessels execute protocol blackout. The alien delegates watched in amazement as human ships suddenly disappeared from sensors, only to reappear in perfect formation behind the mirror vessels. The attack was swift and coordinated, striking at points that seemed random to alien observers, but followed a pattern learned through costly experience. How is this possible? Tarvex asked. Your technology was judged inferior to ours. It is inferior, Henry admitted. But we've been fighting things that laugh at superior technology. We learned adaptation, we learned survival. We learned to kill monsters with primitive tools because that's all we had. The recordings continued playing on multiple screens. Footage of humanity's journey to Council Space became a horror story of constant battle, desperate innovation, and sacrifice. Crews stranded on damaged ships holding out for weeks against creatures that hunted through hyperspace. Entire battle groups vanishing, their fate known only through scattered distress signals. This explains the blood, Zixtal said softly. The stains on your ships aren't maintenance failures. No, Nancy Wright confirmed. They're from crew members who died holding the line. From passengers we couldn't save. From things that bleed, but shouldn't exist. We tried to clean them, but some stains don't wash out, some memories don't fade. The battle outside reached its conclusion as the last mirror ship fell to coordinated human fire. The Council Station's alarms finally stopped wailing, but the silence in the chamber was even more oppressive. Damage report, Vexthor commanded. 37. Council vessels lost, the automated system responded. 43 severely damaged, human casualties, 7 wounded, none fatal. The disparity was stark. Council forces, with their advanced technology and superior numbers, had been decimated. Humanity, fighting with primitive ships, had suffered minor casualties. Why didn't you tell us? Vexithor asked, its color now a confused mix of red and blue. Why endure our mockery when you could have revealed this? Would you have believed us? Ambassador Brooks asked gently, a species that arrives late claiming they've been fighting galaxy-threatening monsters that you've never detected? With technology you've already judged as inferior. The Council delegates exchanged glances. The question answered itself. The Zephon delegate reviewed its military assessments. Our doctrine requires overwhelming firepower, shock and awe. Your humans practice surgical precision, minimalist efficiency. You fight not to destroy, but to survive. Survival against impossible odds, Tarvex added, its voice carrying newfound respect. This explains your crew behavior. Always alert, always prepared, always assuming the worst. Captain Davis activated the main display one more time. Would you like to see our actual journey logs? Not the sanitized reports we tried to file, the real data. The Council watched as humanity's true story unfolded. Week after week of constant combat, ships limping between battles, crews working miracles with damaged systems, memorials for the fallen that lined the corridors of human vessels, battle hymns sung before operations that had no right to succeed, brothers and sisters in arms holding each other as they bled out in space. This is the Terran war doctrine, General Clark explained. Survive today, fight tomorrow, save everyone you can, never give up, never surrender, because the alternative is extinction. Zixtal's crystalline form pulsed with understanding. You weren't testing us during our bureaucratic procedures, we were testing you. And you endured because you've endured worse. Months worse, Mary Johnson confirmed. But we had hope. Hope that reaching Council Space meant safety. That your advanced technology could help us understand and fight these threats more effectively. Instead, Susan Taylor continued, we found a bureaucracy that couldn't conceive of the threats we'd already faced. So we continued fighting alone, protecting the very species that dismissed us, hoping you'd listen before it was too late. Thaifo. Revelations hung heavy in the chamber. Council species that had prided themselves on technological superiority now understood they'd been living in protected space, sheltered by a species they'd considered primitive. The blood on our ships, Captain Davis said quietly, is from every human who died making sure these things never reached you, from every crew member who held their position while monsters boarded their vessels, from every Marine who went hand to hand with nightmares so their shipmates could seal the bulkheads. He paused, looking at each alien delegate. We tried to warn you, through proper channels, through direct reports, through diplomatic submissions. You taught us patience, you taught us humility. But the creatures didn't care about protocols or procedures. The main screen showed the final frame of the recorded data, a simple message logged by Captain Peter Williams 3 months earlier, just before the Liberty's final battle in deep space. If anyone finds this log, know that humanity will never stop fighting. For ourselves, for each other, for anyone who needs protection, even if they don't know they need it, even if they never ask for it. This is who we are. This is why we survive. The recording ended, leaving the council chamber in profound silence. Outside, human ships maintained defensive positions, their scarred hulls a testament to battles fought in darkness and distance, protecting species that had never known danger existed. We owe you an apology, Vexthor said finally. And more than that, we owe you our lives. The human delegation stood quietly, processing the moment they had fought months to reach. Vindication. But at what cost? How many had died to prove a point that bureaucracy had prevented them from making peacefully? Apologies don't bring back the dead, John Davis said softly. But maybe now we can work together. Maybe now you'll listen when we report threats. Maybe now the blood on our ships means something. Outside the station, the stars seemed different, less bright, less safe. The council had lost its innocence but gained something perhaps more valuable. The knowledge that protectors watched in the darkness, bleeding so others could sleep peacefully. The war wasn't over. The mirror ships were just one manifestation of threats that evolved faster than solutions could be found. But now at least, humanity wouldn't have to fight alone. The bureaucratic nightmare had ended. The real war was just beginning. 3 days after the mirror ship attack, the council chamber looked different. The small platform assigned to humans had been moved to the center position, the place of honor. Alien delegates spoke in subdued tones, their earlier dismissiveness replaced by quiet respect. Ambassador Lydia Brooks stood at the new human position, but this time the chamber didn't merely tolerate her presence, it waited for her words. Earth submits its formal report on threat assessment for sectors 1 through 24, she announced. This time no one interrupted. The tactical displays activated, showing detailed maps created from months of human combat experience. Red zones marked areas where reality itself was unstable. Amber regions indicated where mirror entities were known to spawn. Black sectors showed places where entire human battle groups had gone silent. These are your findings, Vexthor asked, its crystalline form now a respectful green. Our blood map, Captain Mary Johnson answered simply. Every red mark cost us a ship. Every black zone took a crew. Every amber warning came from humans who died to send the information. The Zephan delegate, now identified as Supreme Commander, Krek studied the tactical data with professional interest. Your mapping suggests we've been living inside a protective barrier, that these threats exist in a pattern around council space. Not random luck, General Henry Clark confirmed. Humanity's route to council space took us through what we call the breach zones, where these things slip through from elsewhere. We fought them because we had to, because they were blocking our path. And they followed you, Tarvex observed, its melodic voice uncertain for the first time. They always follow, John Davis said grimly. That's why we kept fighting, not just for survival, but to keep them contained, to keep them from reaching populated space. The council chamber processed this information. Screens displayed casualty reports, battle analyses, and footage of threats that challenged every understanding of physics and biology. Creatures that existed in multiple dimensions. Ships that learned and adapted in real time. Weapons that targeted consciousness rather than matter. You fought alone for months. The Varathi Elder, now introduced as ancient historian Zentoth, spoke with newfound respect. Protecting species you'd never met for no reward, facing extinction daily. Why? Ambassador Brooks looked at her team. The diplomats, the soldiers, the engineers who had witnessed unimaginable horrors, yet continued serving. Because someone had to. Because these things don't negotiate. Because if we hadn't fought them in the dark between stars, they would have eventually reached your worlds. And you never demanded recognition, Vexthor noted. Even when we mocked your arrival, denied your requests, dismissed your warnings. Recognition doesn't kill monsters, Captain Lisa Brown said quietly. She had just returned from another patrol, her crew moving with that distinctive human tension. Bullets kill monsters, sacrifice kills monsters. Holding the line when everything tells you to run kills monsters. The chamber's automation systems chimed, indicating an incoming priority message. The tactical display shifted to show real-time sensor data. Energy signature detected, the automated voice announced. Multiple contacts approaching from Sector 12. Pattern matches known threat classifications. Alarms began wailing through the station. Alien crews scrambled to battle stations with panic barely concealed. But human crews moved differently, smoothly, efficiently, like they'd done this 1,000 times before. Council command to human vessels. Vexthor addressed them directly. Request immediate tactical consultation. John activated the Dakota's command systems. All human ships in standard defensive formation. Council vessels maintain perimeter positions. Follow our lead. These things respond to patterns they've seen before. But our ships are more advanced, Crack protested. Superior firepower, better. Shielding didn't help last time, Mary pointed out gently. They copy your advancements, they can't copy experience. The approaching threats resolved on the displays. Not mirror ships this time, but something worse. Organic vessels that pulsed with biological energy. Ships that breathed and moved like massive predators. Biovessels, Steve Parker identified from the Dakota's tactical station. Standard pack, hunting formation. 12 primary entities plus spawner craft. How do you fight them? Tarvex asked, its earlier arrogance completely gone. Carefully, Henry Clark answered. They regenerate damage, learn from attacks, and their organic weapons. Target living tissue directly, but they have weaknesses. They always have weaknesses. The battle began with human ships taking point positions. Alien vessels watched as humanity's scarred fleet engaged with movements that seemed almost choreographed. Target prioritization that defied military doctrine. Weapons fire that struck specific organic zones rather than attempting overwhelming damage. They're not trying to destroy them, Zentoth observed with wonder. They're trying to disrupt their biological cohesion. Learned that the hard way. Captain Peter Williams had been monitoring from the sidelines but now joined the tactical discussion. Lost the entire scout wing before we figured out they share a biological link. Cut the neural connections, the pack loses coordination. The council watched as human tactics proved their worth. Not through superior technology, but through understanding, born of repeated exposure to death. Every human movement showed learned responses to threats the aliens hadn't even classified yet. Permission to implement council defensive protocols. The Zephan commanded, seeking human approval rather than expecting obedience. Granted, John nodded. But follow our targeting patterns. Your weapons are stronger than ours, but you need to hit specific points for maximum effect. The combined fleet worked together, but the hierarchy had changed. Alien vessels followed human tactical guidance, trusting the scars on human ships over their own advanced systems. Incoming biological torpedoes, the automated systems warned. Organic matter configured as projectile weapons. Scatter formation Delta, Mary Johnson called out. Human ships dispersed in a pattern that seemed random, but created perfect interlocking fields of fire. The alien ships hesitated, their tactical computers unable to predict such apparently chaotic movement. Follow them, Vexthor commanded. Trust their experience. As council vessels mimicked human maneuvers, they discovered the pattern's logic. The biological torpedoes, guided by shared consciousness, crashed into each other rather than their intended targets. Human doctrine had learned to turn the enemy's strengths against them. Biopattern disruption successful, Steve reported as the enemy vessels began showing signs of confusion. pack cohesion down 60%. Now we hit the spawner craft, Henry called out. Council vessels, concentrate fire on the largest biological mass. Humans will handle defensive screens. The battle turned with the coordinated assault. Alien ships finally working effectively with human tactical knowledge proved devastatingly successful. The biofleet retreated, but not before humanity's early warning systems detected more signatures at the edge of sensor range. They'll return, John said with certainty. They always return, stronger, smarter, with new adaptations. And we will be ready, Vexthor declared. Its crystalline form now pulsed with determination rather than confusion. All vessels maintain combat readiness. Human tactical doctrine is now primary protocol for station defenses. The council chamber reconvened after the battle. The atmosphere had completely transformed. Aliens stood when humans entered. Tactical. Stations displayed human battle maps as primary references. Requests for human assessment preceded standard procedure. Earth delegation, Vexthor announced formally. The council offers its deepest recognition. The honor guard position is permanently yours. Your ships will lead all defensive formations. Your tactical knowledge will be integrated into council military doctrine. And most importantly, Tarvex added, its melodic voice carrying genuine warmth. Your warnings will be heard, always, without question. Crack approached John directly. Supreme Commander Davis, as ranking military officer, I request cross-training for Zephon battle groups. Our warriors wish to learn human survival techniques. John smiled, the first genuine smile he'd shown since arriving at council space. Granted, but fair warning, our training is hard and messy. And sometimes the only way to survive is to do things that go against everything your instincts tell you. We will learn, Crack promised, as you learned when you had no choice. Months later, the council station had been restructured. Human ships maintained positions at every defensive hardpoint. Alien crews rotated through human-led training programs, learning to fight threats that council space had pretended didn't exist. The bureaucratic nightmare was a memory, replaced by streamlined protocols that prioritized survival over paperwork. Human report submissions got immediate command attention. Resource requests were approved within hours rather than months. But the biggest change was visible on every ship in council space. Pristine alien vessels now bore scars with pride. Hull stains were no longer cleaned immediately but left as reminders. Battle damage went unrepaired just long enough for crews to understand what real combat meant. Captain Sarah Jenkins, newly arrived from Earth with fresh reinforcements, stood on her bridge watching the council station approach. Next to her, Barathi engineer Rix served as exchange officer, learning human systems while teaching advanced alien technology adaptation. Interesting approach pattern, Rix commented. Direct vector through what my people would call dangerous space. Sarah smiled. It's not dangerous if you know what you're doing, and if you're willing to bleed a little along the way. Through the viewport, the station grew larger, surrounded by the combined fleets of species working together. Human vessels stood alongside alien ships of every design, all bearing the marks of battles fought side by side. Captain, her communications officer reported, priority message from Council Command. They're requesting human tactical assessment for upcoming exploration mission. Deep space, high risk. Tell them we'll be ready, Sarah responded. We always are. Somewhere in the dark between stars, threats continued to move toward populated space. Mirror ships evolved new strategies. Bioships developed stronger pack dynamics. Reality warping entities tested dimensional barriers, but they no longer faced humanity alone. Council space had learned that survival sometimes required blood on the hull, that bureaucracy couldn't protect against nightmares, that sometimes the most advanced species were those who'd learned to fight with primitive tools and indomitable will. The blood on human ships had become a symbol across council space, not of battle or destruction, but of sacrifice and protection. New species joining the council underwent orientation by human instructors, learning that pride could be fatal, but humility kept you alive. And on quiet nights, when sensors detected new threats at the edge of known space, no one panicked. They simply called for human tactical assessment, confident that whatever nightmares the darkness held, someone had already faced them and lived to share the knowledge. Humanity had arrived late to the galactic community, but they had arrived when they were needed most. The blood on their ships told a story, not of primitive violence, but of a species that stood between civilization and chaos, asking nothing in return but the chance to keep fighting. The Council had learned to read that story, and in the years that followed, when others spoke of humanity's place in galactic history, they all agreed. Earth had arrived exactly when they were supposed to. Some stains never wash out. Some stains are meant to be preserved. Some stains remind entire civilizations that survival comes at a cost, paid by those willing to bleed for strangers they've never met. In Council space, no one mocked the blood on human ships anymore. They saluted it. Metal coffins. 20 cruisers fired at once. Quantum torpedoes crossed space in seconds. The lightly armed supply ships had no chance. They exploded in chains of fire. Fuel meant for the invasion fleet became expanding clouds of plasma. Commander Dan White led fighter squadrons from hidden bases on Titan. The small ships swarmed larger alien vessels like angry bees. They were too small for the big guns to track, too fast for point defense to hit. Stay close to their hulls, Dan ordered. Their weapons can't depress enough to hit us. The fighters danced across alien ships. They planted bombs on sensor arrays. They destroyed weapon turrets. They turned mighty warships into half-blind, half-armed targets. The Empire tried to regroup. They formed defensive formations. They fell back toward the outer system. But human ships were everywhere. Every retreat met ambush. Every formation got torn apart. Admiral Zixthor watched his perfect fleet die. Ships he had commanded for centuries burned in human space. Victories that had made him famous meant nothing. The humans had played him like a fool. Order all ships to retreat to the edge of the system. We need to regroup. Sir, half our ships can't receive orders. Communication is down across the fleet. Use light signals, flags, anything. But it was too late. The human virus owned their systems now. Weapons fired randomly. Engines burned in wrong directions. Life support failed on ship after ship. Captain Susan Taylor commanded the human reserves. Fresh ships hidden in the outer system now joined the fight. They hit the retreating aliens from behind. No mercy, no hesitation. Humanity's rage had found its target. Commissioner Dave Williams coordinated Earth's ground defenses. The few alien landing ships that reached atmosphere met walls of fire. Hidden missile bases revealed themselves. Laser satellites came online. Nothing reached the surface alive. All landing attempts repelled, Dave reported. Earth airspace is clear. In space, the slaughter continued. Human ships appeared and disappeared like phantoms. They hit supply ships. They destroyed escorts. They crippled battleships. The Empire's numerical advantage disappeared with each passing hour. Amy Chen claimed her 10th kill. Her crew cheered. Young faces bright with victory. They had trained for this moment their whole lives. Now they proved humanity could fight among the stars. Captain, detecting escape pods from the dreadnought. Leave them. We're not monsters. Target only ships that can still fight. This mercy surprised the aliens. The Empire always destroyed everything. Humans showed restraint even in victory. It was another thing the aliens hadn't expected. The battle turned into a rout. Alien ships fled in all directions. Some tried to reach jump points. Others just ran blindly. Fear replaced arrogance. Panic replaced order. Admiral Mary Rodriguez issued new orders. All ships begin Phase 3. Drive them out. Show them the way home is through defeat. The Ghost Fleet formed hunting packs. They chased fleeing enemies. They disabled engines. They destroyed weapons. They left alien ships helpless but alive. A message to the Empire. We could kill you all. We choose not to. On his flagship, Zixthor felt something new. Fear. Real fear. His species had forgotten how it felt. Now it filled his mind like ice water. How many ships do we have left? 200 still fighting, 300 disabled. The rest? Gone. Gone. 600 ships. Hundreds of thousands of lives. The Empire's greatest defeat ever, all because they underestimated the humans. Earth's media started getting real reports. The fake surrender revealed as strategy. Hidden fleets defending the planet. Humanity winning its first space war. People celebrated in the streets. Fear turned to pride. Pride turned to hope. But in space, the battle wasn't over. The hardest part remained. Ending it without destroying everything. Showing the galaxy that humans could win and show mercy. That Earth was strong but not cruel. Captain Mike Davis targeted Zixthor's flagship. The massive dreadnought was wounded but dangerous. Its main guns could still destroy cities. It had to be stopped. Admiral Rodriguez, requesting permission to engage enemy flagship. Granted, but try to take him alive. We need him to carry the message back. Mike smiled grimly. Understood. Independence moving to engage. The two giants faced each other in the void. The Empire's pride against humanity's determination. The old order against the new. The battle for Earth's future came down to two ships and the will of their crews. In the command bunker, Lisa Barnes watched her gamble play out. 50 years of secrets, thousands of hidden ships, millions of lives in the balance, all leading to this moment. The galaxy would remember this day. The day the Veltarian Empire learned that humans were not prey. They were predators, and they protected their own. The two flagships faced each other near Saturn's rings. Admiral Zixthor's dreadnought was 3 miles long, bristling with weapons. Captain Mike Davis commanded the Independence, smaller but deadlier. The old empire against the new power. Mike studied his enemy. The alien ship leaked atmosphere from dozens of holes. Its shields flickered, but its main guns still worked. One good hit could destroy the Independence. All hands, battle stations. This is it. His crew moved with practiced skill. They had trained for this day since childhood. Their parents built this ship. Now the children would use it to defend Earth. On the alien bridge, Zixthor felt his tentacles shake. Never in 10,000 years had the Empire faced real defeat. His 6 eyes watched the human ship. It looked primitive, but it had destroyed his fleet. Target their engines, he ordered. If we can't win, we'll take them with us. The dreadnought's guns swung toward Independence. Energy built up in the barrels. Enough power to crack a moon. Zixthor gave the order to fire, but Mike was ready. Quantum jump now. Independence vanished. The alien weapons fired at empty space. Before Zixthor could react, the human ship appeared behind him, at point-blank range. Fire everything. Independence unleashed hell. Dark matter beams, quantum torpedoes, railgun rounds. The alien ship's rear shields collapsed. Armor meant to stop asteroids melted like butter. Jump. Again, Independence vanished. The aliens spun their ship, searching. Their sensors showed nothing. The humans had technology that shouldn't exist. Near Jupiter, Captain Bob Miller executed the next phase. His cruisers had captured several alien supply ships intact. Now he put them to use. Begin Operation Trojan. Send the packages. The captured ships accelerated toward the remaining alien forces. They looked like rescue vessels coming to help. The Empire's friend or foe systems recognized them, let them approach. Then they exploded. Not with bombs, but with expanding wormholes. Miniature black holes that lasted just seconds. Long enough to swallow enemy ships. Long enough to tear space itself. Wormhole weapons confirmed effective. 8 enemy ships destroyed. Good work. Continue the pressure. Drive them toward the trap. The trap waited at Jupiter itself. The gas giant's massive gravity well. Its radiation that blocked sensors. Its moons that hid human ships. Captain Amy. Chen commanded the ambush force. Steady. Let them come to us. Jupiter is our ally today. The retreating aliens had 2 choices. Fight the humans in open space and die. or use Jupiter's gravity to slingshot toward home. They chose Jupiter. Hundreds of alien ships entered the gas giant's influence. They formed up for the gravity assist maneuver. Their computers calculated the perfect trajectory. Their crews thought they were escaping. Amy sprang the trap. All ships, execute Ganymede Gambit. Open the wormholes. Hidden on Jupiter's moons, massive generators came alive. They created artificial wormholes, not for travel, but as weapons. The wormholes opened inside Jupiter's gravity well. The alien ships suddenly faced gravitational chaos. Some got pulled toward Jupiter. Others spun out of control. Their careful formation shattered. Their escape became a death spiral. Now, all weapons free. Human ships poured fire into the confused aliens. Without formation, without coordination, the Empire's vessels became easy targets. One by one, they died in Jupiter's shadow. On Earth, the world watched in awe. News cameras showed the battle from ground telescopes. Flashes of light around Jupiter. Humanity's hidden fleet revealed. The impossible becoming real. Dr. Nancy Cook worked in the biowarfare lab. Her job was different, but just as important. She studied captured alien tissue samples, looking for weaknesses, finding ways to fight future invasions. Their biology is silicon-based, she reported. Vulnerable to certain frequencies. If they land ground troops, we can stop them. But no alien troops reached Earth. The space battle turned too quickly. What started as invasion became desperate retreat. The hunter became the hunted. In the asteroid belt, fresh human ships joined the fight. These weren't military vessels. They were mining ships, converted freighters, anything that could mount weapons. Civilians who refused to let others defend their home alone. Captain Fred Jones commanded a converted ore hauler. His weapons were basic, his shields were weak, but his determination was steel. This is for Earth, boys. Make every shot count. His motley fleet engaged alien stragglers. They fought with courage over skill. They took losses but kept fighting. They showed the galaxy that all humans would defend their world. Back at the main battle, Mike Davis continued his duel with Zixthor. The alien dreadnought was dying. Half its weapons were gone. Its engines sputtered. But Zixthor refused to surrender. "Admiral, we must retreat," his aide begged. "The battle is lost." No, the Empire does not run. But the Empire was running. Ships fled in all directions. Some made it to hyperspace. Most didn't. Human ships were everywhere, appearing from nowhere, vanishing before retaliation. The virus in alien systems reached its final phase. Dr. Tom Green activated the kill switch. Across the alien fleet, critical systems failed. Life support, navigation, weapons. The Might Empire's technology betrayed them completely. "Their fleet is helpless," Tom reported. "We can destroy them all or show mercy. Your choice, Madam President." Lisa Barnes made the hardest decision of her life. Disable their weapons, damage their engines, but let them limp home. The galaxy needs to know we're strong, not monsters. The order spread through the fleet. Human weapons became surgical tools. They crippled but didn't kill. They defeated but didn't destroy. It was mercy the Empire never showed its victims. Commander Dan White led fighter squadrons in the final sweep. They cleared space around Earth. They chased away the last threats. They secured humanity's first victory among the stars. Earth space is clear. No active enemy vessels in the inner system. Cheers erupted in command centers, on ships, in bunkers, on Earth itself. The impossible had happened. A single planet had defeated a galactic empire, but the symbolic battle remained. Mike Davis closed with Zixthor's flagship. The alien admiral had one choice: surrender or die fighting. His pride warred with his survival instinct. "Admiral Zixthor," Mike broadcast, "your fleet is defeated. Your invasion failed. Surrender and you can return home with a message for your empire." Zixthor's tentacles writhed. Surrender was shame, but death was worse. His species needed to know what happened here. Needed to understand humans were not prey. "I accept your terms." The words hurt more than weapons. The Empire's greatest admiral surrendering to primitives. Except they weren't primitive. They were something new. Something dangerous. Independence moved alongside the crippled dreadnought. Marines in advanced combat suits boarded. They found aliens defeated in spirit as well as battle. The Empire's confidence was shattered. Admiral Mary Rodriguez coordinated the aftermath. All units begin rescue operations, collect escape pods, provide medical aid, show them humanity's true face. The Ghost Fleet transformed from predators to rescuers. They saved alien lives. They repaired life support systems. They showed mercy to the defeated. Another surprise for the Empire. President Lisa Barnes prepared her broadcast, not just to Earth, but to the galaxy. The first human message to reach beyond the solar system. Words that would echo through history. Citizens of Earth, beings of the galaxy. Today, humanity joined the cosmic community, not as subjects, but as free people. We were threatened with destruction. We answered with determination. The message continued, offering friendship to peaceful species, warning to would-be conquerors. Earth was open to the galaxy, but would defend itself against any threat. In space, the defeated alien fleet gathered its survivors. Ships that could still move helped those that couldn't. They prepared for the long journey home. Their mission failed, their pride broken, their empire changed forever. Captain Susan Taylor took custody of Admiral Zix Thor. The alien leader would return home with a message. Earth was not for conquering. Humans were not for enslaving. The galaxy had a new power. As the alien fleet limped away, humanity's ships emerged from hiding. Hundreds of them. From the moon, from Mars, from asteroids and moons. The Ghost Fleet showed its true size. The Empire had threatened Earth expecting surrender. Instead, they found warriors. They demanded submission. They received defeat. The galaxy's balance of power shifted in a single day. Commissioner Dave Williams began planning the next phase. Earth Space Force, permanent defenses, trade with friendly species. Humanity's real journey into space was just beginning. The capture pod felt small to Admiral Zix Thor. He had commanded ships bigger than Earth cities. Now he sat in a room barely large enough for his tentacles. His 6 eyes stared at the human captain across from him. Captain Susan Taylor studied the alien leader. He looked different now. Smaller. Defeated. The arrogance was gone. Fear had taken its place. "Your ships are leaving the solar system," Susan said. "You'll be transferred to one of them soon. You'll carry our message to your empire." "What message?" Zix Thor's translator clicked. "That Earth is not alone, that humans are not prey, that the galaxy has changed." Susan placed a data pad on the table. It showed star maps, trade routes, military positions. Everything the Empire thought was secret. "We've been watching you for 50 years. We know your strengths, your weaknesses. Your empire is built on fear. Fear just met something stronger." Zix Thor studied the data. His tentacles shook as he understood. Humans hadn't just defeated his fleet. They had studied the entire empire. They knew everything. On Earth, the victory, celebrations continued. In New York, London, Tokyo, crowds filled the streets. They waved flags, they sang songs. They celebrated survival. President Lisa Barnes addressed the United Nations. Every leader on Earth watched. Many had learned about the Ghost Fleet only hours ago. The secret was now public. The world was forever changed. "My fellow humans," Lisa began. "Today we learned we are not alone. Today we proved we are not helpless. Today we showed the galaxy that Earth stands united." She explained Project Exodus. 50 years of preparation. Thousands of people keeping the secret. Ships built in hidden factories. Children trained in secret academies. We hoped we would never need these weapons. But when threatened, we were ready. Now we face a new challenge, our place among the stars. In space, the cleanup began. Human ships collected debris. They rescued survivors from damaged alien vessels. They secured abandoned technology. Every piece was valuable. Every system could teach them something. Commissioner Dave Williams took charge of Earth's new Space Force. The Ghost Fleet became official. Secret bases opened their doors. hidden shipyards, increased production. We need more ships, Dave told his staff. The Empire will return, or others will come. Earth must be ready. Construction began immediately. New designs incorporated captured alien technology. Human creativity improved Empire engineering. The next generation of ships would be even deadlier. Dr. Nancy Cook led the xenobiology team. They studied alien prisoners, not to harm but to understand. Different species had different needs. If Earth wanted alien friends, they needed to help them properly. Their silicon biology is fascinating, Nancy reported. We can synthesize food for them, make proper medical supplies, show them humanity cares about life. The prisoners noticed the difference. The Empire treated captives as slaves. Humans treated them as guests, fed them, healed them, talked to them. Many aliens began questioning what they had been taught about primitive species. Captain Mike Davis visited the repair yards. His ship Independence showed battle damage, scars from the fight with Zixthor's dreadnought. Each mark told a story. Each dent was a badge of honor. She did good, Mike told the yard supervisor. Patch her up. We might need her again soon. Yes, sir. We're also installing the new shields, the ones based on alien tech. She'll be twice as tough next time. Mike smiled. Humans were already improving on alien technology, taking the best, making it better. The Empire's advantage was disappearing fast. In deep space, the alien fleet regrouped. 300 ships out of 1,000, most heavily damaged, all demoralized. They formed up for the long journey home. Admiral Zixthor transferred to his damaged flagship. His officers looked broken, their confidence shattered. The Empire's greatest fleet defeated by one planet. Set course for home space, Zixthor ordered. Maximum speed. Sir, what will we tell the Emperor? Zixthor's tentacles drooped. The truth, that we found warriors where we expected victims, that the humans were ready, that the galaxy has a new power. The alien fleet jumped to hyperspace. They carried news that would shake the Empire. A species that fought back, a world that won, an example for every conquered planet. On Earth, President Barnes met with world leaders. They planned humanity's future, not as separate nations, but as one species. The alien threat had united Earth like nothing before. We need a world government, the Japanese Prime Minister said. For space matters, at least. We can't face the galaxy divided. Agreed, said the European president. United Earth, one voice to the stars. They worked through the night, creating new structures, new laws, new ways for humanity to act as one. The United Earth government was born, separate nations for local matters, one voice for space. Dr. Tom Green dismantled his virus laboratory. The cyber weapon had served its purpose. Now he turned to defense, creating shields against alien hacking, protecting Earth's networks. We surprised them once. They'll adapt. We need to stay ahead. His team worked on quantum encryption, unhackable communications, computer systems that couldn't be turned against Earth. The next battle would be different. Both sides would be ready. 3 days later, the first alien signals arrived. Not from the Empire, but from its subjects. Conquered worlds that heard about Earth's victory. Species living under Empire rule for centuries. Earth vessel, this is Kelta Prime. We hear you defeated the Empire. Is this true? Commissioner Dave Williams took the call personally. This is Earth Space Command. Yes, we defeated their invasion fleet. Who are you? We are slaves of the Empire, but we dream of freedom. Can you help us? Dave looked at his staff. This was unexpected, but also an opportunity. Earth couldn't free the galaxy alone, but they could start something. We're transmitting data on jump drive technology. Build your own ships. Defend yourselves. Earth stands with any who seek freedom. The message spread across the galaxy, whispered in slave quarters, shared in hidden meetings. Earth had shown it was possible. The Empire could be beaten. Within weeks, rebellions started on dozen worlds. The Empire faced threats everywhere. Their military was stretched thin. Their confidence was shaken. Their slaves smelled freedom. Captain Amy Chen commanded Earth's first diplomatic mission. Her destroyer, now painted white instead of war black, carried ambassadors to neutral worlds. Species that stayed independent from the Empire. The Vegan Confederation welcomes Earth, the plant-like alien said. We have watched the Empire's growth with fear. Your victory gives us hope. Earth seeks friends, not subjects, Ambassador Paul Johnson replied. He had traded his fake surrender tears for real diplomacy. Together we can ensure no empire threatens free worlds again. Alliances formed quickly. The galaxy's balance shifted daily. The Empire's thousand-year rule crumbled. All because they threatened the wrong planet. In the Sol system, defenses grew daily. Orbital fortresses around Earth, shipyards at Mars, mining operations in the asteroids. Humanity expanded rapidly. Admiral Mary Rodriguez commanded the new fleet. Not ghost ships anymore, but proud vessels of the Earth Space Navy. They patrolled the solar system. They escorted merchant ships. They showed the flag to visiting aliens. Remember, Mary told her captains, we're not conquerors, we're protectors. We defend freedom. We help those who need it. We're humanity's best face to the galaxy. 6 months after the battle, Admiral Zixthor stood before the Veltarian Emperor. The throne room that once inspired fear now felt hollow. The Emperor's rage had cooled to calculation. So the humans were ready. They played us for fools. What do you suggest? Leave them alone, Majesty. Focus on holding what we have. The humans have started something. Rebellion spreads. We need our forces elsewhere. The Emperor's tentacles moved slowly. Perhaps you're right. Earth is one world. We have thousands. Let them have their victory. For now. But the Emperor didn't understand. Earth wasn't done. Humanity had tasted the stars. They had friends among the oppressed. They had technology that grew daily. They had the one thing the Empire feared most. Hope. President Lisa Barnes stood on the observation deck of Space Station. Freedom. Below her, Earth turned slowly. Blue and white and beautiful. Safe now. Protected. Free. Madam President, an aide said. The Andromedan delegation has arrived. They want to join the Free Worlds Alliance. Lisa smiled. 6 months ago, Earth stood alone. Now 20 species had joined them. The Empire ruled through fear. Earth led through example. The galaxy was choosing sides. Show them in. Let's build a better galaxy together. The stars no longer looked peaceful from Earth. They looked full of possibility. Humanity had answered threats with warships. Now they answered friends with open hands. The galaxy would never be the same. Aliens mocked Earth's predators until humans released the honey badger. HFY. A short sci-fi story. Captain Lisa Brooks stood at the viewing window of the Earth diplomatic vessel Curiosity. Stars stretched endlessly before her, but her attention was fixed on the 6 tall insect-like aliens examining the ship's main computer display. The Varlaxians had joined the tour 3 hours ago, and what had started as polite interest had turned into something that felt a lot like mockery. Is this truly an apex predator of your world? Ambassador Klizik asked, his translator converting his clicks and chirps into English. His long, segmented finger pointed at the image of an African lion on the screen. The other 5 Varlaxians behind him made chittering sounds that the humans had learned was their version of laughter. Yes, Ambassador. The lion is considered the king of beasts in many Earth cultures, Dr. Alan Perry replied calmly. As the ship's xenobiologist, he had been tasked with showing Earth's biodiversity to their alien visitors. The 6-month-old diplomatic relations with the technologically superior galactic Concord had been filled with moments like this. Moments where humanity's achievements seemed small and unimpressive. Fascinating, Klizik said, but his tone made it clear he found it anything but. On our homeworld, even our young hunt creatures 3 times this size for their coming-of-age rituals. Lisa watched as Alan's smile became more forced. She understood his frustration. The Varlaxians stood nearly 8 feet tall, with hard exoskeletons that could repel bullets and strength that could bend steel. Their own world, from what they had shared, was a place of massive predators and constant danger. "Show us more of these Earth predators," one of the other Varlaxians requested. "The large ones." Alan nodded and moved to the next images. "These are polar bears, the largest land predators on Earth. They can weigh up to 1,500 pounds. The aliens' compound eyes reflected the blue light of the screen as they studied the white bears. "Primitive," Klazik concluded. "Their claws are inefficient. On our world, the lesser spine ripper has 3-foot retractable blades that can cut through tree trunks." From her position near the communications station, Lisa noticed Jack Miller, her communications officer, typing something into his personal tablet. His face held the hint of a smile, which was unusual given the tense atmosphere in the room. "Something interesting, Officer Miller?" she asked quietly, moving closer to his station. Jack looked up, his eyes bright with an idea. "Just thinking about something, Captain. Have they seen the honey badger yet?" "The honey badger?" Lisa raised an eyebrow. "I don't think so. Why?" Jack shrugged, trying to appear casual. "No reason, just might give our friends something to think about." Before Lisa could question him further, Ambassador Klizik's voice rose in volume. "These are all your dangerous creatures?" The alien's mandibles clicked rapidly. "No wonder your species is so..." He paused, searching for the right word. "Soft. You evolved on a world with such meager threats." Lisa watched as the other crew, members in the room, tensed. 6 months of diplomatic relations had taught them to control their reactions, but the constant condescension was wearing thin. "Your planet must be a peaceful place," Klazik continued. "It explains much about your timid nature and your need for our protection." The word protection hung in the air. The Galactic Concord had offered Earth membership and protection, but the terms made it clear that humans would be junior partners at best, servants at worst. "We've survived our world quite well, Ambassador," Lisa said, stepping forward. "Each planet presents its own challenges." "Of course, Captain," Klzik replied. "We simply find it charming how your species has flourished, despite evolving alongside such unthreatening wildlife." The tour continued for another hour. The Varlaxians examined images of sharks, crocodiles, and Komodo dragons with the same dismissive attitude. When they finally left, promising to return the next day to discuss protection treaties, Lisa felt a headache forming behind her eyes. "Well, that was humbling," Alan said once the aliens were gone. "According to them, our fiercest predators would be considered pet material on their world." "They're trying to establish dominance," Lisa replied. "It's a negotiation tactic. Make us feel inferior so we'll accept whatever terms they offer." Jack approached them, still holding his tablet. "Captain, I've been doing some research on the honey badger. I think you might find it interesting." "This isn't the time for nature documentaries, Jack," Lisa said tiredly. "With respect, Captain, I think it might be exactly the time." Jack handed her the tablet. "The honey badger isn't our biggest predator or our strongest, but it might be exactly what we need right now." Lisa took the tablet and began to read. As she scrolled through the information and watched short video clips, her expression changed from skepticism to interest. She saw footage of the small black and white animal fearlessly facing down lions, surviving venomous snake bites, and enduring attacks that would kill animals many times its size. "It's not about size with these creatures," Jack explained. "It's about attitude. They simply don't give up. They don't understand the concept of surrender." Alan peered over Lisa's shoulder at the tablet. "Fascinating. They have incredibly thick skin, partial immunity to venom, and a tenacity that borders on insanity." Lisa watched a clip of a honey badger taking on 6 hyenas, getting repeatedly bitten, yet refusing to back down. "They're like Earth's stubborn streak personified," she murmured. "Exactly," Jack said. "The Varlaxians keep showing us their strength and size, but what if we showed them something different? Something they don't understand?" Lisa handed the tablet back to Jack, a slow smile spreading across her face. "Jack, I want you to compile everything we have on honey badgers, and then I want you to prepare a presentation." "For the Varlaxians?" Alan asked, confused. No, Lisa replied. For Earth Command. I think it's time we stop trying to impress the Galactic Concord with size and strength they'll always outmatch. Instead, let's show them something uniquely Earth. Our refusal to back down no matter the odds. Lisa walked back to the viewing window, looking out at the stars. The Varlaxians and the other alien species of the Galactic Concord had been dismissing humans since first contact. They saw a small, physically weak species from a planet with unimpressive predators. But they had never met the honey badger, and they had never truly understood humans. Call a meeting of the senior staff, Lisa said. I think we've been approaching this all wrong. We've been trying to show them we're worth respecting. Instead, let's show them what happens when they underestimate us. As she turned back to her crew, Lisa felt a new sense of purpose. The Varlaxians had mocked Earth's predators. Soon, they would learn why that was a mistake. Aliens mocked Earth's predators until humans released the honey badger, HFY, a short sci-fi story. 2 weeks passed quickly aboard the Earth diplomatic vessel Curiosity. Captain Lisa Brooks sat at the head of the conference table in the ship's main meeting room, watching as her senior staff filed in. The atmosphere was tense but excited, a stark change from the defeated mood that had followed most interactions with the Varlaxians. Is it confirmed? Lisa asked as Jack Miller took his seat. Jack nodded, his eyes bright with excitement. Yes, Captain. The Galactic Concord just made the official announcement. They're calling it the Grand Predator Exhibition. Dr. Alan Perry let out a low whistle. So they're really going through with it? A galactic zoo show and tell. Not just a show and tell, Jack corrected. It's being framed as a cultural exchange, but everyone knows what it really is. A chance for the established species to show off their biological superiority. Lisa tapped her fingers against the polished surface of the table. And they specifically requested that Earth participate, that we bring examples of our apex predators? The message was quite clear, Jack replied. Though Ambassador Kulzik did mention that we shouldn't feel pressured to participate if we felt our wildlife was too, what was the word he used? Modest. Soft. Laughter rippled around the table, but it held no humor. They're trying to humiliate us, said Chief Security Officer Rita Bennett. Put our lions and tigers next to their nightmare creatures and make us look pathetic. Lisa stood up and walked to the room's main display screen. That's exactly what they're doing. But we're not going to play their game, at least not the way they expect us to. She activated the screen, and images of honey badgers filled the display. Videos showed the small animals facing down much larger predators, stealing kills from lions, and surviving attacks that should have been fatal. For the past 2 weeks, we've been compiling everything we have on Mellivora capensis, the honey badger, Lisa said. I've sent our findings to Earth Command, and they've approved our plan. Which is? Rita asked, leaning forward. We're going to participate in the exhibition, Lisa explained. But we're not bringing lions or tigers. We're bringing a single honey badger. The room fell silent for a moment before Alan spoke up. Captain, I understand the symbolism, but this is a risky move. The honey badger isn't visually impressive. The aliens will just see a small, unassuming mammal. Exactly, Lisa said with a smile. They'll underestimate it, just like they've underestimated us, and then we'll show them what it can do. She gestured to Jack, who stood and took over the presentation. The Varlaxians and other species in the Galactic Concord value size, strength, and aggression, Jack explained. They're expecting us to try to compete on those terms by bringing our biggest, most visually impressive predators. But Earth evolved differently. He changed the display to show a comparison between Earth and Varlax, the Varlaxian homeworld. Varlax has higher gravity, harsher weather patterns, and larger native fauna. Their evolutionary path rewarded size and armored defenses. Earth, by contrast, saw more diverse evolutionary strategies. The screen changed again, showing the honey badger facing a cobra. The honey badger evolved not to overpower through size, but through sheer tenacity and specialized adaptations. Its skin is remarkably thick and loose, allowing it to turn and fight even when caught. It has partial immunity to venom, incredible endurance, and problem-solving intelligence. Rita frowned. So we're bringing a clever weasel to a monster fight? We're Bringing Earth's most fearless predator, Lisa corrected. A creature that doesn't understand surrender, that keeps fighting no matter the odds. She walked around the table, making eye contact with each member of her staff. The Varlaxians and their allies see us as weak because we're smaller and physically less imposing. They think that means we'll be easy to control, that we'll accept whatever terms they offer because we're afraid. Lisa stopped, her voice growing more intense. But that's where they're wrong. What humanity and the honey badger share isn't physical might, it's determination. The unwillingness to give up no matter how many times we get knocked down. So this is about sending a message, Alan said slowly. Exactly, Lisa nodded. We can't compete with their biological weapons or massive predators, but we can show them something they've never seen before, a creature that simply refuses to be intimidated, no matter the size of its opponent. When do we leave for the exhibition? Asked Rita. Tomorrow, Lisa replied. The exhibition is being held on the Concord station near the Varlaxian homeworld. We'll be transporting one specially trained honey badger, along with a habitat recreation unit and demonstration materials. As the meeting concluded, the crew filed out with renewed energy. Lisa remained behind with Jack and Alan. Do you really think this will work? Alan asked once they were alone. Change their perception of us? Lisa's expression was determined. I don't know. But I do know this. The Varlaxians think they've figured us out. They see us as weak because our planet didn't produce creatures with acid blood or foot-long claws. They're measuring us by their standards and finding us wanting. And the honey badger will change that, Jack asked. The honey badger will show them there's more than one kind of strength, Lisa replied. Size isn't everything. Sometimes the most dangerous opponent isn't the biggest one in the room. It's the one that keeps coming back no matter how many times you knock it down. She looked at the image of the small black and white animal on the screen. The honey badger doesn't know it's supposed to be afraid of lions or hyenas. It doesn't understand that it's supposed to lose those fights. Jack smiled. Just like humanity doesn't know we're supposed to cower before the mighty galactic Concord? Exactly, Lisa said with a nod. Earth has faced extinction-level events, ice ages, plagues, and our own destructive tendencies. Yet we're still here, still pushing forward. We're small compared to the Varlaxians, but like the honey badger, what we lack in size, we make up for in sheer stubborn persistence. As the ship prepared for departure the next morning, Lisa stood on the bridge watching her crew work with newfound purpose. For 6 months, they had tried to impress the alien species of the galactic Concord. They had shown off human technology, art and culture, only to be met with condescension. Now they would try a different approach. The honey badger wouldn't win a beauty contest against the nightmarish predators of other worlds. It wouldn't impress with size or venom or armored plates, but it would show the galaxy something uniquely Earth, the power of never, ever giving up. Course laid in for the Concord station, Captain, reported the helmsman. Take us out, Lisa ordered, her eyes fixed on the stars ahead. Let's go introduce the galaxy to the honey badger way. Aliens mocked Earth's predators until humans released the honey badger. HFY, a short sci-fi story. The galactic Concord station hung in space like a massive metal flower, its 5 enormous petals extending from a central hub. Each petal housed representatives from different member species, with the newest and least important members located at the tips, furthest from the center of power. Captain Lisa Brooks stood with her small delegation at the docking port, watching as other species arrived for the Grand Predator exhibition. The Varlaxians moved with the confident stride of the station's dominant species. Behind them walked the reptilian Zoltans, the tentacled Marines, and a dozen other alien groups. They've set up the exhibition arena in the central hub, Jack Miller said, checking his tablet. Each species gets 30 minutes to showcase their predator. Lisa nodded, her eyes on the simple transport container that held Earth's entry. Unlike the massive, reinforced cages of the other delegations, the human container was modest, just large enough for a single medium-sized mammal. How's our contestant? She asked Dr. Alan Perry, who monitored the container's life support systems. Alert and ready, Alan replied. The honey badger remains in perfect health. The sedation wore off as planned, and he's had a meal of eggs and meat. Ambassador Chillax approached, his insectoid form towering over the humans. 4 of his assistants followed, carrying a massive containment unit that occasionally shuddered from impacts within. Captain Brooks, Chillax's translator conveyed, his clicking speech. I see Earth has decided to participate after all. How brave of you. Lisa smiled diplomatically. We wouldn't miss this cultural exchange, Ambassador. Chillax's compound eyes shifted to the small transport container. Is that your predator? It must be very small. Size isn't everything, Ambassador, Lisa replied. As I believe the exhibition will demonstrate. The Varlaxian made a dismissive gesture with his upper limbs. We shall see. The Varlaxian spine slicers are eager for their demonstration. They have not been fed in 3 days to ensure an enthusiastic performance. As Chillax moved away, Chief Security Officer Rita Bennett leaned close to Lisa. His confidence is annoying. It's about to be tested, Lisa replied. The Grand Exhibition Hall was a vast circular arena with transparent walls separating the display area from tiered seating. Representatives from 27 species filled the seats, with the most senior delegates occupying the prime viewing sections. Lisa noted that the human delegation had been assigned seats near the back, a not-so-subtle reminder of their low status in the Concord hierarchy. The exhibition will proceed in order of Concord membership seniority, announced the Master of Ceremonies, a tall, willowy alien with silver skin. First, the Varlaxian delegation. The audience watched as 6 massive arachnid creatures were released into the arena, which had been configured to resemble the rocky terrain of the Varlaxian homeworld. The spine slicers moved with frightening speed, their blade-like limbs slicing through solid metal targets as if they were paper. Their multiple eyes glowed with predatory intelligence as they coordinated their attacks, bringing down simulated prey 3 times their size. The crowd chittered and hummed with appreciation. Next came the Zoltans, whose phase hunters could partially shift between dimensions, appearing to move through solid objects to ambush prey. The Marines showcased their deep leviathans, aquatic predators that required water-filled containment fields and could generate electrical discharges powerful enough to stun creatures from 50 feet away. As each demonstration concluded, Lisa could feel the mood of her team sinking. Earth's entry would seem painfully mundane after these spectacular alien predators. We're next, Jack whispered, as the 19th demonstration ended. Last place. Lisa stood. Then let's make it count. The silver-skinned announcer's voice held a note of boredom as he said, Finally, the human delegation from Earth presents their apex predator. Lisa walked to the control podium while Alan and Rita prepared the transport container. The arena, transformed into a simulated African savanna with tall grass, scattered trees, and a watering hole. Distinguished delegates, Lisa addressed the assembly, her voice calm and confident. Earth presents one of our planet's most determined hunters, the honey badger. The transport opened, and the small black and white animal trotted out into the arena. It was unassuming, about 3 feet long including its tail, muscular but not visibly threatening. The honey badger immediately began sniffing around, exploring its new environment with apparent unconcern for the watching aliens. Ripple of what could only be described as alien laughter moved through the audience. This is your apex predator? The Zoltan delegate's voice was clearly amused. Size can be deceiving, Lisa replied, nodding to Alan, who activated the first demonstration sequence. A honeycomb appeared in a hollow tree trunk, guarded by what appeared to be an empty space around it. As the honey badger approached, curious about the honey smell, a swarm of African bees materialized, hundreds of them, filling the air with an angry buzz that was audible even in the seating area. The audience watched first with amusement, then with growing interest as the honey badger ignored the dozens of stings it received. It climbed the tree, enduring the full attack of the swarm, and casually ate the honeycomb, while still being stung repeatedly. The honey badger can tolerate hundreds of bee stings that would kill most mammals, Lisa explained. Its skin is nearly 6 millimeters thick and remarkably tough. She nodded to Alan again, and a new challenge appeared. A large cobra, hood flared, ready to strike. The audience leaned forward as the honey badger approached the venomous snake without hesitation. The cobra struck, its fangs connecting with the honey badger's shoulder. The small predator staggered, seemed disoriented, and collapsed. A murmur went through the crowd. This demonstration had apparently failed. Then, minutes later, the honey badger got back up. It shook itself, located the cobra again, and renewed its attack. This time it caught the snake behind the head and killed it with a powerful bite. Honey badgers have evolved partial immunity to many venoms, Lisa explained to the now attentive audience. Even when affected, they typically recover and return to the fight. For the final demonstration, a simulated pride of lions appeared near the watering hole. One of the lions approached the honey badger, which was now eating the cobra it had killed. The lion, towering over the small predator, roared and swatted at it. Instead of fleeing, the honey badger charged directly at the lion's face, its teeth bared in defiance. The much larger predator, startled by this unexpected response, backed away. The honey badger doesn't understand fear or surrender, Lisa stated as the demonstration concluded. It persists until it succeeds or dies trying. The observation dome had fallen silent. Lisa looked directly at Ambassador Chillax. On Earth we have a saying, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. The honey badger may be small, but it survives in a world of much larger predators through sheer determination. She paused, letting her words sink in. Like the honey badger, humanity may be physically unimposing compared to many conquered species. But we have survived on a world where tenacity often matters more than size or strength. As the honey badger was returned to its container, Lisa could feel the mood in the room had shifted. The other species were looking at the humans with something new in their alien expressions. It wasn't fear or even respect exactly. It was uncertainty, the first crack in their confident dismissal of humanity. Aliens mocked Earth's predators until humans released the honey badger. HFY, a short sci-fi story. 3 months passed since the Grand Predator exhibition. Life aboard the Earth diplomatic vessel Curiosity had changed in subtle but important ways. The Varlaxians no longer spoke to the humans with open mockery. Other species actually sought out human opinions during conquered meetings. It wasn't respect exactly, but it was a start. Captain Lisa Brooks sat in her ready room reviewing reports when her communication panel chimed. Captain, incoming emergency transmission from Ambassador Chillax, Jack Miller's voice announced. Lisa raised an eyebrow. The Varlaxian ambassador rarely contacted her directly, and never with an emergency call. Put him through. The screen lit up, showing Chillax. The Varlaxian's normally immaculate exoskeleton looked dull, and his compound eyes moved rapidly, a sign of distress Lisa had learned to recognize. Captain Brooks, the translator conveyed his rapid clicks. I must speak with you urgently. The Concorde faces a threat unlike any we have encountered before. Lisa leaned forward. What kind of threat, Ambassador? They call themselves the Void. Swarm, Chillax replied. His upper limbs moved in agitated patterns. They emerged from deep space 3 weeks ago. At first we thought they were simply another spacefaring species seeking contact. The screen split, showing grainy footage of strange organic-looking ships. They resembled giant insects with elongated bodies and multiple appendages, but they moved with the precision of advanced machinery. They attacked without warning, Chillax continued. 3 outer colony worlds have already fallen. Their ships are different. They're partly organic, able to heal damage and adapt to our weapons. Lisa frowned. I'm sorry to hear this, Ambassador, but I'm not sure how Earth can help. Our military technology is centuries behind yours. It is not your technology we need, Chillax said. His mandibles clicked rapidly, a Varlaxian expression Lisa had learned indicated extreme stress. It is your perspective. My perspective? The honey badger approach, Chillax clarified. The Void Swarm adapts to every weapon we use against them. Our military doctrine is to develop the perfect countermeasure, the ideal weapon. But by the time we deploy it, the swarm has already evolved a defense. Lisa understood immediately. And you want us to think like the honey badger. Keep coming back with different approaches, never giving up. Yes. Chillax's translator couldn't fully convey the emotion in his clicks, but Lisa sensed something new in them. Respect, and perhaps fear. The Concord Council requests Earth's assistance. The swarm will reach your system within months if not stopped. Lisa thought quickly. I'll need to consult with Earth Command. Send all the data you have on these Void Swarm ships and their tactics. We'll get back to you within 24 hours. After the transmission ended, Lisa called an emergency meeting of her senior staff. Dr. Alan Perry and Chief Security Officer Rita Bennett listened intently as she explained the situation. So they're finally admitting they need us, Rita said with a hint of satisfaction. Not us specifically, Lisa corrected. Our way of thinking, the honey badger approach. Alan studied the data Chillax had sent. These Void Swarm ships are fascinating. They appear to incorporate biological components into their technology. Look at these cellular structures. They can regenerate damaged sections and adapt their outer layers to resist whatever damaged them previously. Like an immune system, Lisa murmured. Exactly. Alan nodded. Once they've been exposed to a specific weapon, they develop resistance. The Varlaxians and other conquered species have been trying to create the perfect weapon, one powerful enough to destroy the swarm in a single attack. But each failed attempt just makes the swarm stronger. Rita leaned forward. So instead of one perfect weapon, we need many different approaches, Lisa finished. Like the honey badger, if one attack doesn't work, try something completely different. Keep coming until something succeeds. Jack Miller entered the room, his face grave. Captain, we've received additional data from the Concord. The Void Swarm has broken through the outer defense perimeter. They've destroyed 3 Varlaxian battlecruisers and 6 Zoltan interceptors. Lisa studied the tactical displays Jack brought up. The swarm ships moved in perfect coordination, adapting their formation to counter each Concord tactic. Look at how they respond to energy weapons, Alan pointed out. They've developed some kind of reflective coating. And here, when the Zoltans tried kinetic weapons, the swarm ships grew additional armor plating. But they can't be resistant to everything simultaneously, Lisa said slowly, a plan forming in her mind. That would require too much energy, too many resources. There must be limits to how many adaptations they can maintain at once. She turned to her team. We need to test this theory. Jack, contact Earth Command. Tell them what we're dealing with. And request emergency authority to represent Earth in the Concord Defense Council. You have a plan? Rita asked. Lisa nodded. The beginning of one. On Earth we have another saying. If at first you don't succeed, try again. But with a twist. Don't try the same thing repeatedly. Try everything until something works. 2 days later, Lisa stood in the Concord Council chamber. Representatives from all member species crowded the room, their usual political rivalries set aside in the face of the common threat. The Void Swarm has adapted to all our conventional weapons. A Mertine admiral gurgled through its translator. Our energy beams, our kinetic projectiles, our phase disruptors, all ineffective now. They learn from each encounter, added a Zoltan general. Our scientists estimate that within 6 more engagements, they will be completely immune to our entire weapons catalog. Lisa stepped forward. All eyes turned to her, the human, representing the newest and seemingly weakest species in the Concord. You're approaching this problem from the wrong angle, she said calmly. You're trying to find the perfect weapon, the one attack that will destroy the swarm completely. But what if there isn't one? She activated the central display, showing footage of the honey badger from the exhibition. On Earth, we have predators like this. They don't win because they're the biggest or strongest. They win because they never give up. and they never try the same failed approach twice. The footage shifted to show the honey badger facing different challenges: bees, snakes, larger predators, and using different strategies for each. The void swarm adapts like an immune system, Lisa continued. But all immune systems have limits. They can't maintain defenses against everything simultaneously. We need to stop looking for the perfect weapon and instead use every weapon, all at once. Ambassador Klozik's mandibles clicked thoughtfully. Explain your strategy, Captain. Instead of developing more powerful versions of the same weapons, we attack with completely different approaches simultaneously, Lisa explained. Energy weapons, kinetic projectiles, biological countermeasures, gravitational disruption, all at once. Force the swarm to prioritize which adaptations to maintain. She looked around the chamber, meeting the alien gazes. We need to be like the honey badger, relentless, impossible to discourage, and constantly changing our approach until we find the combination that works. A murmur went through the council chamber. Lisa could see the doubt in many alien faces, but she also saw something new: hope. Ambassador Klozik stepped forward. The Concord Council will consider Captain Brooks' strategy. In the meantime, I propose we designate Earth as the coordination center for our counteroffensive. Their unique perspective may be exactly what we need. As the meeting adjourned, Klozik approached Lisa privately. Your honey badger has made quite an impression, Captain. Lisa smiled. The honey badger doesn't care about impressions, Ambassador. It only cares about results. Let us hope it achieves them against the void swarm, Klozik replied. Because if not, we may all share the same fate as those who underestimated your small but determined predator. Aliens mocked Earth's predators until humans released the honey badger. HFY, a short sci-fi story. The renamed Earth vessel Tenacity, formerly the Curiosity, moved at the center of the combined Concord fleet. The ship had been quickly refitted, with Varlaxian defensive systems and Zoltan communication arrays. Its bridge now served as the command center for the entire operation against the Void Swarm. Captain Lisa Brooks studied the tactical display, where hundreds of Allied ships formed a protective barrier around the Varlaxian homeworld. The Void Swarm approached from 3 directions, their organic ships moving in perfect harmony like a school of deadly fish. All ships report ready, Captain, Jack Miller announced from his station. Honey Badger protocol is in place, Chief Security Officer Rita Bennett added. All ships have their assigned weapon systems and attack patterns. Lisa nodded. Open a channel to the fleet. The view screen showed faces from a dozen different species, all waiting for her command. 6 weeks of preparation had led to this moment. 6 weeks of studying the Void Swarm's adaptations, developing new weapons, and training the combined forces to work together in ways they never had before. This is Captain Brooks, Lisa began. The Void Swarm has demonstrated its ability to adapt to any single attack. Today we don't give it that chance. Every ship knows its role. Every weapon has its purpose. Remember the honey badger. If one approach fails, we switch immediately to another. We keep coming back no matter how many times we're beaten down. She paused, looking at the alien faces. The swarm adapts quickly, but our research shows it can only maintain immunity to 3 different attack types simultaneously. We have 12. Good luck. As the transmission ended, Lisa turned to Ambassador Klozik, who stood beside her on the bridge. The Varlaxians' normally intimidating presence now felt reassuring. Your species continues to surprise me, Captain Brooks, Klozik's translator conveyed. A few months ago, I would not have imagined following a human battle strategy. A honey badger battle strategy, Lisa corrected with a small smile. We're about to see if it works. The Void Swarm entered weapons range, and the battle began. The first wave of Concord ships launched energy weapons, lasers, plasma beams, and ion disruptors. As expected, the swarm ships quickly adapted, developing reflective surfaces that sent the energy attacks harmlessly into space. Energy weapons ineffective, Rita reported. Moving to attack pattern beta. The second wave moved in, launching kinetic weapons, Solid projectiles, explosive torpedoes, and metallic fragmentation bombs. The swarm ships grew additional armor plating, absorbing the impacts with minimal damage. Kinetic attacks neutralized, Rita announced. Proceeding to gamma pattern. The third wave deployed gravitational disruptors, creating localized gravity, wells to tear the swarm ships apart. The enemy adapted again, generating counter-gravitational fields that stabilized their formations. As predicted, they've used their 3 adaptation slots, Dr. Alan Perry observed from his science station. Energy, kinetic, and gravitational defenses are all active. Lisa leaned forward. Now's our chance. All ships deploy biological countermeasures. Specially designed missiles released clouds of engineered microbes that attack the organic components of the swarm ships. The enemy vessels began to show signs of distress, their movements becoming less coordinated as the microbes interfered with their biological systems. But the swarm was intelligent. Within minutes, the ships began to shed their outer layers, discarding the infected tissue and growing new protective membranes. They're adapting to the biological attack, Alan reported. But look, they've dropped their energy shielding to do it. All ships with energy weapons, fire immediately, Lisa ordered. The renewed energy attack tore through several swarm ships, but the rest quickly reactivated their energy defenses, at the cost of their gravitational protection. Gravitational disruptors, fire now, Lisa commanded. The battle continued, in this pattern for hours. Each time the swarm adapted to one type of attack, they had to drop their defense against another. The Concord forces kept rotating their approach, never allowing the enemy to develop a stable defense against all threats. They're learning, Rita warned after the 4th rotation. They're prioritizing defenses against our most effective weapons and accepting damage from the less dangerous ones. Lisa nodded. Then we need to surprise them again, prepare the dimensional disruptors. This new weapon, developed in secret and never before used against the swarm, created brief tears in the fabric of space-time. When activated, the disruptors caused parts of the swarm ships to exist in slightly different dimensions, tearing them apart from the inside. Dimensional disruptors online, Jack reported, but we only have enough for one coordinated attack. Lisa met Klazik's compound eyes. One chance. The Varlaxian's mandibles clicked in what Lisa now recognized as determination. The honey badger only needs one chance if it's the right one. Lisa took a deep breath. All ships activate dimensional disruptors on my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark. Across the battlefield, the hidden weapons activated simultaneously. Space itself seemed to ripple and fold around the swarm ships, unable to adapt to a weapon they had never encountered before. The organic vessels began to tear apart, their biological components unable to maintain cohesion across multiple dimensional planes. It's working, Alan exclaimed. 80% of the swarm ships are showing critical damage. The Void Swarm, for the first time since they had appeared, began to retreat. Their perfect formation broke apart as damaged ships limped away from the battlefield. Shall we pursue? Rita asked. Lisa studied the tactical display. No, we've hurt them badly, but we haven't destroyed them completely. If we chase them now, we risk falling into a trap or giving them time to adapt to our dimensional weapons. She turned to Kulzik. The honey badger knows when to press an advantage and when to consolidate a victory. We've protected the Varlaxian homeworld. Now we need to prepare for the next encounter. 2 days later, Lisa stood with Klzik in the observation lounge of the Tenacity, watching as repair ships tended to damaged, conquered vessels. The Concord Council has officially recognized Earth's contribution to our victory, Klzik said. Your status has been upgraded. You will no longer be housed at the outer tips of the station. Lisa smiled. Moving up in the world. Your honey badger strategy saved many lives, the Varlaxian continued. We had become complacent in our power, believing that superior strength and technology were all that mattered in conflict. He turned, his alien gaze to her. We were wrong. The Void Swarm was stronger than us in many ways, with technology that could heal and adapt. Yet they still lost to a strategy inspired by a small Earth predator. The honey badger doesn't win because it's the strongest, Lisa replied. It wins because it refuses to accept defeat, and because it's willing to try anything to succeed. Chillax's mandibles clicked in what Lisa now recognized as thoughtful amusement. Much like humans themselves. We had good teachers, Lisa said, thinking of all the times throughout human history when persistence had overcome greater strength. Earth may not have the biggest or most visually impressive predators in the galaxy, but what we lack in size, we make up for in determination. As she looked out at the stars, Lisa knew the void swarm would return. They would adapt and evolve, and try again. But next time, they wouldn't be facing a galaxy that thought bigger was always better. That strength always defeated tenacity. Next time, they would face a galactic concord that had learned the honey badger way. A concord that included humanity as true partners, not dismissed subordinates. You know, Lisa said to Chillax, on Earth we have a saying, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. The ambassador's translator was silent for a moment before he responded, I believe the conquered may need to study more of Earth's small but determined creatures. And perhaps more importantly, learn from the humans who think like them. The tenacity continued its orbit around the Varlaxian homeworld, its human crew no longer seen as weak or primitive, but as valuable allies who had brought something new to the galaxy. The honey badger approached the power of never giving up no matter the odds. Ambassador Zixtil of the Valorian Confederation paced nervously in the reception chamber of the diplomatic vessel, Harmonic Convergence. Today marked a historic moment, the official introduction of humans to the wider galactic community. Zixtil's 4 hearts beat rapidly as he reviewed the briefing materials one final time. The gravity alone should have crushed them, he muttered to his assistant Kriva, who was arranging welcome refreshments that had been carefully tested for human compatibility. Their planet has active volcanoes, massive bodies of liquid water, and extreme temperature variations. How did they survive long enough to develop space travel? Kriva's skin flickered from pale blue to a worried purple. They evolved as prey animals that later became predators. The briefing says they still have instincts from both. She lowered her voice. Did you see the section about their endurance? They don't stop pursuing prey until it collapses from exhaustion. They call it persistence hunting. Let's not dwell on that aspect, Zixtil said quickly. Like most spacefaring species, Valorians evolved on a planet with stable climate, minimal geological activity, and few predators. Earth, classified as Death World 7, was among the most dangerous planets ever to produce sentient life. The ship's communication system chimed softly. Human shuttle requesting final docking clearance, announced the ship's AI in soothing tones. Grant clearance, Zixtil replied, straightening his ceremonial sash, and increase gravity in the reception area to Earth standard as discussed. The ship acknowledged the command. Immediately, Zixtil felt heavier, his movements becoming more difficult. The sensation was deeply unpleasant, but he reminded himself that humans lived their entire lives under such crushing force. The things they endured daily would qualify as torture for most galactic citizens. Final preparations, he told the assembled greeting party, all volunteers who had undergone special training for human interaction. Remember, they display teeth as a sign of friendliness, not aggression. Their skeletal structures contain calcium, deposits that make them much denser than they appear. And most importantly, they are accustomed to constant danger. What terrifies us is simply Tuesday for them. The airlock indicator shifted from red to green. With a soft hiss, the door slid open. 3 humans entered the chamber. Zixtil had studied images, but nothing prepared him for the reality. They moved with easy confidence despite the gravity. Their eyes, forward-facing predator eyes, scanned the room quickly, assessing everything. And when they smiled, they displayed rows of white, bone-hard teeth. The first human stepped forward. Commander Jack Miller, United Earth Space Force. He extended a hand, a limb packed with bones and powerful muscles. In the greeting gesture they had been briefed. About fighting every instinct telling him to flee, Zixtil extended his upper limb and allowed the human to grasp it. The strength in those fingers was alarming, though the human was clearly being gentle. On behalf of the Valorian Confederation and the Galactic Council, we welcome humanity to the wider community of spacefaring civilizations, Zixtil said, proud that his voice remained steady. The second human moved forward. Lieutenant Susan Wright, Science Division. Her grip was equally firm. Thank you for accommodating Earth normal gravity. We brought personal gravity compensators just in case, but it's nice not to need them. The third human completed the introductions. Greg Daniels, diplomatic advisor. This one's grip was slightly less crushing. We've been looking forward to this meeting since your probes first contacted us 18 months ago. The formal welcomes completed. Zixtil guided the humans to the prepared refreshment area. We have synthesized some Earth foods based on molecular patterns provided by your advance team. I hope they are satisfactory. Jack picked up something approximating an apple and bit into it with those terrifying teeth. Not bad, a bit like a pear crossed with a cucumber, but definitely edible. Susan accepted a cup of coffee, a stimulant that would send most Valorians into cardiac arrest. This is really good, better than what we get on long deployments. As they settled into discussion, Zixtil found himself gradually relaxing. The humans were clearly making efforts to appear non-threatening. They spoke of peaceful exchange, scientific cooperation, and cultural understanding. But then the conversation turned to Earth. What's your home planet like? Greg asked politely. Kriva answered. Valoria has stable weather patterns, minimal tectonic activity, and carefully managed wildlife preserves for the few predatory species that survived our early development. Sounds peaceful, Jack said. Earth's a bit more dynamic. We understand your planet experiences extreme weather events? Zixtil inquired cautiously. Susan laughed. Oh yeah, I grew up in Oklahoma, Tornado Alley. We used to sit on the porch and watch them form before heading to the shelter. Dad called it nature's dinner theater. The Valorian delegation exchanged alarmed glances. They watched violent atmospheric disturbances for entertainment. And your oceans cover most of your planet's surface? Kriva asked, trying to keep her skin color stable. About 71%, Greg confirmed. My family has a beach house in Florida. Nothing better than swimming in the Atlantic at sunrise. Zixtil nearly choked on his drink. Humans willingly immerse themselves in uncontrolled masses of water for pleasure. We've prepared a cultural exchange presentation, Zixtil said, changing the subject. This shows some of the most significant challenges Valorian civilization has faced. The display showed a minor earthquake that had damaged several cities centuries ago. The humans watched politely but seemed unimpressed. That registers maybe 4.5 on our Richter scale, Jack commented. We get those fairly regularly along the Pacific coast. The next footage showed a major storm that had been considered catastrophic on Valoria. Looks like a Category 1 hurricane, Susan observed. Pretty, mild by Earth standards. By the end of the Valorian presentation, it was clear that what constituted historical disasters for the Confederation were routine events on Earth. Would you like to see some images from Earth? Greg offered, activating his data tablet. The first images showed massive mountains with jagged peaks covered in ice. The Rocky Mountains, Greg explained, great hiking in the summer. You climb those voluntarily? Kriva asked, her skin now pale with shock. Sure, the views are worth it, Susan said cheerfully. The next images showed massive waves crashing against cliffs while tiny human figures rode them on small boards. My brother's a surfer, Jack explained. He says there's nothing like riding a 20-foot wave to clear your mind. The final images showed a place called Yellowstone, with ground that actually vented superheated steam and pools of boiling acidic water in vibrant colors. One of our national parks, Greg said proudly. Over 4 million visitors each year. 2 of the Valorian delegates had to excuse themselves by this point. Zixtil remained only through sheer diplomatic discipline. As the first meeting concluded, Jack shook Zixtil's hand again. This has been great. Looking forward to showing you folks more about humanity as we move forward. After the humans departed for their temporary quarters, Kriva collapsed into her support chair. They watch destructive weather events for entertainment, she whispered. They swim in uncontrolled water masses. They climb frozen rock formations for pleasure. And they bring their young to visit active geological hot zones as a family activity. Zixtil's color had faded to a pale, shocked gray. The report was right. Earth isn't just a death world. It's a planet that should be impossible for sentient life. And humans don't just survive there. They enjoy it. Kriva finished. What kind of species evolves to take pleasure in conditions that would kill? Post-sentient beings? Zixtil looked at the closed airlock door. I believe we're about to find out. And I'm not sure the galaxy is ready for the answer. 3 months after first contact, the Intergalactic Cultural Exchange Program officially began. 5 human representatives would live aboard the Valorian station Peaceful Resonance for 6 months, while 5 Valorian diplomats would visit Earth. Both sides hoped this direct experience would build understanding between their vastly different species. The human team boarded the station on a quiet Tuesday morning. Dr. Olivia Martinez led the group as their scientific coordinator. She specialized in marine biology and was eager to learn about alien ocean life. Dr. Alan Powell, a geologist with a booming laugh, followed close behind. Dr. Diane Foster, a cultural anthropologist with a gentle smile, came next. Captain Ben Howard represented the military aspect of the exchange, his movements precise and watchful. Kelly Thompson, a chef and nutritionist, completed the team, carrying extra bags of Earth spices. Station Director Vorlon greeted them at the airlock. Welcome to Peaceful Resonance. We've prepared a special section adjusted to Earth conditions. Thank you for your hospitality, Olivia said with a warm smile that made Vorlon's skin ripple nervously. Even after months of preparation, those bone-filled human mouths were unsettling. The humans followed Vorlon through curved hallways to their quarters. The Valorian station consisted of connected spheres rather than straight corridors, reflecting their homeworld's natural architecture. We've set the gravity in your section to 0.7 Earth standard, Vorlon explained. Our systems cannot safely maintain full Earth gravity. Ben bounced slightly on his toes. No problem, it's like being on the moon. Should be fun. Vorlon's translator struggled with the concept of fun applied to reduced gravity. The idea that humans would find physical danger entertaining still confused the Valorians. Meanwhile on Earth, the Valorian delegation was struggling to adjust. Despite extensive preparation and protective gear, Earth's conditions proved more challenging than anticipated. Ambassador Venril sent increasingly alarmed reports to the Confederation Council. The humans living near the place called Alaska endured temperature variations of over 40 degrees in a single season, one report noted. Many consider this invigorating rather than potentially lethal. Another report described humans in a region called Arizona who enjoyed outdoor activities in temperatures that would cause Valorian organ failure within minutes. The report included disturbing accounts of recreational activities called sunbathing and saunas, where humans deliberately expose themselves to heat and radiation. Back on the space station, the human team settled into their routine. The recreation deck had been modified with Earth-type exercise equipment. Alan and Ben discovered they could jump nearly 3 meters high in the reduced gravity. This is better than a trampoline park, Alan shouted as he somersaulted in midair. Several Valorian scientists observing from behind a safety barrier trembled at the reckless display. One activated an emergency medical alert before being assured that the humans were not in distress. Cultural exchange sessions took place daily. Today, Diane was explaining Earth entertainment to a group of fascinated Valorians. Movies are moving pictures that tell stories, she explained. We have many different types. Comedies make us laugh, dramas make us feel emotions, and action films excite us. What about the category called horror? Asked junior researcher Tixara. Our data suggests these are designed to create fear responses. Diane nodded. That's right. Horror movies scare us on purpose. People enjoy the feeling of being frightened in a safe environment. The Valorians exchanged troubled glances. One of them, Medical Officer Prelkan, raised a tentative limb. You seek fear? Intentionally? For pleasure? Sure, Diane said. It gives you an adrenaline rush, gets your heart pumping. Some people love roller coasters and haunted houses for the same reason. The station's cultural database struggled to translate these concepts. The closest Valorian equivalent to adrenaline rush translated roughly as near-death terror response. The idea that humans would seek this sensation voluntarily was deeply disturbing. That evening, a call came in from Earth. The Valorian delegation had experienced a serious incident during a diplomatic dinner. The humans had introduced entertainment in the form of what they called a mild action movie. The film, something about a human named Indiana Jones, contained scenes so distressing that 2 Valorian diplomats lost consciousness, and a third developed stress ripples across their skin that wouldn't fade for hours. Kriva, who was serving as chief liaison on Earth, appeared on the video screen looking distinctly pale. The humans seemed confused by our reaction, she reported to Vorlan. They claimed this was considered family entertainment suitable for their young. Vorlan turned to Olivia, who had joined the call. Is this accurate? Your species shows such material to children? Olivia looked embarrassed. Indiana Jones is pretty tame by our standards. It's rated for general audiences. I watched those movies when I was 7 or 8 years old. After the call ended, Vorlan called an emergency meeting with the station's xenopsychology team. We need to better understand how humans process fear, he insisted. Their approach defies all established models of sentient behavior. The next day, Kelly organized a small dinner party to improve relations. She prepared simplified versions of Earth foods adjusted for Valorian digestion. As they ate, Ben shared stories about his military training. In survival school, they dropped us in the wilderness with just a knife, he explained between bites. No food, no water, no shelter. We had to live off the land for 2 weeks. The Valorians at the table froze in horror. This was punishment? Asked Security Chief Mezcan. Ben laughed. No, it was training. Actually kind of fun once you get past the hunger. I caught a fish with my bare hands on day 3. Best meal of my life. Dr. Zorbix, the station's xenopsychologist, made furious notes on his datapad. His research was beginning to form a theory. Humans didn't just tolerate danger. They had evolved to seek controlled forms of it as preparation for their hostile environment. Later that night, Alan suggested hosting a movie night for the human team. Just to unwind a bit, he said. Nothing too intense. Kelly agreed, selecting what humans considered mild entertainment, an action film with moderate suspense. The Valorians asked to observe remotely, part of their ongoing study of human behavior. As the humans relaxed and enjoyed the film, occasionally cheering during dangerous scenes or laughing at moments of tension, the Valorian observers watched, in scientific fascination. They're experiencing physiological fear responses, whispered Dr. Zorbix, monitoring their vital signs remotely. Elevated heart rates, increased adrenaline, pupil dilation, but their brain scans show pleasure centers activating simultaneously. How is that possible? Orlan asked. I believe, said Zorbix slowly, we've discovered something profound. Deathworlders don't just survive terror, they've evolved to harness it. They deliberately seek controlled danger as a way to prepare for real threats. His voice dropped even lower. What terrifies us trains them. That night, Zorbix began drafting a classified report to the Valorian High Council titled Recreational Fear, the Evolutionary Advantage of Deathworlders. The implications would change galactic understanding of humans forever. 4 months into the exchange program, an incident nearly caused a serious diplomatic problem. Dr. Alan Powell was touring the engineering section of the Valorian station with Chief Engineer Trelxan. They approached a sealed door marked with Valorian warning symbols. This area contains our secondary reactor cooling system, Trelxan explained through his translator. The radiation levels beyond this point would be harmful to Valorians. Alan glanced at the readout beside the door. The numbers displayed the radiation measurements in standard galactic units. He suddenly burst into laughter. a loud sound that echoed through the corridor. Trelxan's skin flashed bright orange in alarm. He slammed his limb against the emergency button on the wall. Sirens wailed throughout the section. Security barriers dropped from the ceiling, and evacuation alerts blared in Valorian. "What's happening?" Alan asked, his laughter stopping abruptly. "Emergency containment protocols," Trelxan said, backing away from Alan. "Please remain still until security arrives." Within minutes, security officers surrounded Alan. Dr. Zorbix and Station Director Vorlan hurried to the scene. Medical staff stood by with radiation treatment kits. "I don't understand," Alan said, looking confused. "Did I do something wrong?" Vorlan's voice was tight with concern. "You laughed at a severe radiation warning. We assumed you were experiencing the early symptoms of radiation poisoning, which include confusion and inappropriate emotional responses." Alan's eyes widened in understanding. "Oh, no, I'm fine. I was laughing because..." He paused, suddenly realizing how his reaction might seem. "The radiation levels you're warning about are what we'd consider completely safe on Earth. Those readings are similar to what humans experience during a normal sunny day at the beach." A stunned silence followed his words. "Impossible," whispered Trelxan. "Those levels would cause cellular damage to Valorian tissue within minutes." Alan pulled out his personal tablet and quickly pulled up some Earth data. "Look, here are the background radiation levels in major Earth cities. And here's what we consider the safety threshold for human exposure." The Valorians stared at the numbers in disbelief. What they considered extreme danger was baseline on Earth. "I wasn't laughing at your caution," Alan explained gently. "I was just surprised by the difference in our tolerances. I'm sorry for the misunderstanding. This incident led to a comprehensive review of safety standards between species. The humans were shocked to learn that standard Valorian living conditions would be considered eerily peaceful on Earth. No weather variations, no temperature shifts, no background radiation." The next day, Diane Foster organized a special presentation for the Valorian scientific team. "After yesterday's misunderstanding, we thought it would help if we explained some fundamental differences between our species," she began. Captain Ben Howard joined her at the front of the room. "Humans evolved on a planet with constant threats," he explained. "Predators, weather, geological activity, disease. Our ancestors had to deal with all of these daily." Diane advanced to the next slide. "This shaped not just our bodies, but our psychology. We developed something called the fight, flight, or freeze response to danger. But most galactic species have similar responses," interjected Dr. Zorbix. "True," Ben nodded. "But here's the difference. Humans also evolved to seek controlled exposure to threats. We call it stress inoculation or thrill seeking." The presentation showed images of humans engaging in various activities: climbing sheer rock faces, diving into deep water, riding small vehicles at high speeds, and watching frightening entertainment. "We believe," Diane continued, "that humans who practiced facing danger in controlled settings were better prepared when real threats appeared. This trait was selected for over thousands of generations." Dr. Zorbix's skin rippled with excitement. This confirmed his theories about recreational fear. "So when humans watch these horror movies, they are actually training their fear responses?" "Exactly," Diane smiled. "In a safe environment, we can experience fear, process it, and learn to function despite it." Later that evening, Kelly Thompson organized a small movie night for those Valorians brave enough to participate. She selected what humans considered extremely mild entertainment, a children's adventure film with very light peril. 5 Valorian scientists volunteered, including Dr. Zorbix. They were connected to medical monitors and given mild sedatives as a precaution. As the film played, the humans watched with amusement as the Valorians reacted with gasps and skin color changes to scenes humans found completely tame. During one mild chase sequence, 2 Valorians had to leave the room to compose themselves. Dr. Zorbix remained, though his color fluctuated wildly. When the film ended, he turned to Kelly with new understanding in his large eyes. "This was designed for your young?" he asked, his voice wavering slightly. "Yes," Kelly confirmed. Human children generally enjoy a little excitement in their stories. Fascinating, Zorbix said. I believe I understand now. You use these simulated dangers to prepare your offspring for your dangerous world. The next morning, an emergency message arrived from the Valorian delegation on Earth. They had been invited to attend something called a county fair and were requesting immediate consultation. What is a roller coaster? Asked Ambassador Venril, looking distinctly unwell even through the video feed. The humans describe it as entertainment, but the specifications they showed us appear to be some kind of torture device. Olivia tried not to smile. It's a thrill ride, a track with steep drops and tight turns that gives you a feeling of controlled danger. And humans enter these devices voluntarily? For pleasure? Venril seemed unable to process this concept. Many do, yes. Children especially love them. The ambassador's skin turned a deep blue of distress. They subject their young to this? As some form of endurance test? No, Olivia explained patiently. Because it's fun. The feeling of fear in a safe environment gives humans a rush of pleasurable chemicals in our brains. After the call ended, Olivia joined the others in the recreation room. I don't think the Earth delegation is enjoying their stay as much as we're enjoying ours, she said with a small laugh. Alan nodded. It's strange, isn't it? What they consider terrifying, we consider boring. What we consider fun, they consider traumatic. Dr. Zorbix has a theory about that, Ben said, bouncing a ball against the wall and catching it with ease in the low gravity. He thinks our entire entertainment industry is actually a sophisticated training system to prepare us for danger. Diane looked thoughtful. He might not be entirely wrong. Think about it. We pay good money to be scared in safe environments. Horror movies, haunted houses, extreme sports. Speaking of which, Kelly interrupted, checking her tablet. I just got permission to organize a haunted corridor for Halloween next month. She grinned mischievously. I wonder if any of our Valorian friends will be brave enough to try it. The humans laughed, not unkindly, but with genuine amusement at the cultural gap between their species. What the Valorians didn't yet fully grasp was that humans didn't just endure their dangerous world. They had learned to find joy in the very things that should terrify them, and that, perhaps, was the most alien thing about them of all. 6 months into diplomatic relations, disaster struck. An uncharted asteroid cluster damaged a Valorian science vessel, the Serene Discovery. The ship was now stranded in orbit around an unstable gas giant in the Proxima system. Its engines were damaged, and the vessel was slowly being pulled into the planet's crushing atmosphere. 19 crew members faced certain death. The Valorian High Council called an emergency meeting. The nearest Valorian rescue ships were 3 days away, too late to save the crew. However, the human vessel Northern Star, captained by Erica Nelson, was conducting a survey mission just 8 hours from the distressed ship. Council member Zivtax looked deeply troubled. The conditions near that gas giant include high radiation, extreme pressure variations, and atmospheric toxins. We cannot ask humans to risk themselves in such conditions. Ambassador Zixtil, who had been working with humans since first contact, sighed. What is deadly to us may not be to them. I suggest we at least inform them of the situation. After much debate, the council agreed to contact the Northern Star. Dr. Diane Foster and Dr. Zorbix joined the call from the station to help with communication. When Captain Nelson received the distress call, her reaction surprised the Valorians. Instead of fear or hesitation, her expression showed focused determination. Send us the ship's exact coordinates and all data on the gas giant, she requested immediately. We can reach them in under 8 hours at maximum burn. Council member Zivtax spoke cautiously. Captain Nelson, I must inform you that the environment around the gas giant exceeds safety parameters for most species. The radiation alone is well within human tolerance, Nelson interrupted. I've reviewed the data you're sending through now. These conditions are challenging but not impossible for us or our ship, Diane added. The Valorians have different environmental tolerances than we do, Captain. What's deadly to them is often manageable for humans. Nelson nodded. My crew is already preparing for rescue operations. We'll establish direct communication once we're in range. After the call ended, the council members sat in stunned silence. They're not just willing to attempt a rescue, Zixtil observed. They seem almost eager. Dr. Xorbix's skin rippled with scientific excitement. This confirms my research on human psychology. They view crisis situations as challenges rather than threats. Notice how Captain Nelson immediately focused on solutions rather than dangers. On the Northern Star, Captain Nelson briefed her crew. The situation is difficult but not impossible. The Valorian ship is caught in the upper gravitational field of a gas giant. Their engines are damaged and they can't break orbit. We have approximately 12 hours before their ship is drawn too deep into the atmosphere for rescue. Lieutenant Ryan Price, the ship's pilot, studied the approach vectors. The asteroid field will be tricky to navigate, especially at speed. The ship's computer recommends we take a longer route around it. Time is critical, Nelson replied. Can you navigate it manually? Price grinned. Manually, sure. It'll be like threading needles while riding a bull, but I've practiced harder scenarios in simulation. Chief Engineer Sam Cooper outlined the rescue plan. Their docking systems are incompatible with ours, so we'll need to use the emergency airlocks. We've modified our atmosphere scrubbers to handle the gas giant's outer layers. The radiation shielding should hold if we don't linger too long. When the Northern Star approached the Proxima system, they established direct contact with the stranded Valorian vessel. This is Science Director Kelvor of the Serene Discovery, came the weak transmission. Our situation is deteriorating faster than expected. Hull integrity is at 62% and falling. Understood, Director, Nelson replied calmly. We're 8 minutes from your position. Prepare your crew for emergency evacuation. As they approached, the humans got their first visual of the situation. The sleek, oval Valorian ship was visibly damaged, caught in the swirling outer atmosphere of a massive gas giant streaked with purple and red storms. Debris from the asteroid collision floated dangerously around the ship. That's a mess, Lieutenant Price muttered, his hands moving rapidly over the manual controls. Switching to full manual navigation now. The Northern Star shuddered as it entered the gas giant's outer gravitational field. Warning lights flashed across control panels as radiation levels rose and pressure increased on the hull. All within acceptable parameters, Chief Cooper reported, though sweat beaded on his forehead. But I wouldn't want a vacation here. Price navigated the ship through the debris field with remarkable precision, occasionally making quick jokes about particularly close calls. The rest of the crew responded with tense laughter or encouraging comments. To an outside observer, they might have seemed strangely relaxed given the deadly situation. When they finally reached the Valorian vessel, they found its crew in a state of near panic. The Valorians had sealed themselves in emergency survival pods, their skin pale with terror. We need to move quickly, Nelson told them through the communication system. Your ship won't hold much longer. We'll attach to your emergency airlock and evacuate you one by one. The rescue operation was difficult. The two ships struggled to maintain position in the gas giant's turbulent atmosphere. Each time a Valorian was transferred between ships, both vessels shuddered dangerously. After 18 crew members had been evacuated, a violent storm surge from the gas giant slammed into both ships. The impact broke the airlock seal before the final Valorian could cross. Warning alarms blared through both vessels. We've lost the connection, Chief Cooper shouted. The Valorian ship is being pulled deeper into the atmosphere. Without hesitation, Lieutenant Ryan Price grabbed an emergency spacesuit. I can reach them through the exterior guide cables. We haven't come this far to lose one. That's too dangerous, Nelson said firmly. I'll go. With respect, Captain, I'm the best zero-G maneuverer on the ship, Price replied, already sealing his helmet. And somebody needs to pilot us out of here once I get back with our guest. Before Nelson could object, further, Price had entered the airlock. The crew watched nervously on monitors as he launched himself across the gap between ships, using the remaining guide cables for direction in the violent atmospheric currents. The Valorians observed in stunned silence. One crew member had to be sedated after witnessing Price's suicidal spacewalk. To them, What the human was doing was beyond comprehension, deliberately exposing himself to conditions that should kill any rational being. Price reached the Valorian ship, found the stranded crew member, and began the perilous journey back. Twice, sudden atmospheric bursts nearly tore them from the cables. Each time Price adjusted with remarkable calm, even making a joke about cosmic rodeo that the ship's microphones picked up. When they finally returned safely to the Northern Star, the ship immediately began its escape burn. They cleared the gas giant's atmosphere just as the abandoned Valorian vessel imploded under the increasing pressure. As the rescued Valorians received medical attention, Science Director Kelvor approached Captain Nelson with trembling limbs. "Your crew member deliberately exposed himself to deadly conditions," he said, his voice still shaking. "He even seemed to derive pleasure from the extreme danger. How is this possible?" Nelson smiled slightly. "Lieutenant Price is one of our best. And yes, he probably did enjoy the challenge on some level. When humans face dangerous situations and overcome them, we often experience a feeling of accomplishment. But the risk was calculated," Nelson finished. "Price knew his limits and capabilities. What looks like reckless behavior to you was actually a carefully assessed action to him." Later, as the Northern Star headed for the nearest Valorian space station with their rescued passengers, Dr. Zorbix received an urgent message from the High Council. They wanted his complete research on human psychology immediately. The successful rescue had profoundly shaken Valorian understanding of what was possible. "They don't just tolerate danger," Zorbix dictated into his recorder. "They rise to meet it. What would paralyze us with fear instead focuses them." Perhaps this is the true meaning of the term Death Worlders. Not just that they can survive terrible conditions, but that such conditions somehow bring out their best qualities. 1 year after first contact, the Intergalactic Council convened a special session to discuss humanity's unique place in the galactic community. Representatives from 12 spacefaring species gathered in the Great Hall on the neutral planet, Harmonious. The massive chamber hummed with nervous energy as delegates discussed humans in worried whispers. Ambassador Zixtil entered with the human delegation. Dr. Frank Willis, Earth's leading xenopsychologist, would present today. Jack Miller and Susan Wright, the original First Contact team, accompanied him along with Professor Linda Ramirez, a neurobiologist specializing in fear responses. Council leader Voxanar called the session to order. "We gather to better understand our newest members. Recent events, particularly the Proxima rescue mission, have raised important questions about human psychology and capabilities." Dr. Willis stepped forward. His presentation was titled, "Comparative Fear Responses Across Sentient Species." The large display behind him showed brain scans from various species, including humans. "Most spacefaring species evolved on planets with minimal threats," Willis began. "Your ancestors survived by avoiding danger through caution and technology. Humans evolved differently. Earth presented constant dangers, predators, weather extremes, natural disasters. We couldn't avoid all threats, so we adapted to function despite them." He showed images of Earth's many environments: frozen tundras, scorching deserts, storm-tossed oceans. Early humans who froze in fear died. Those who could think clearly during danger survived. Willis continued. "Over thousands of generations, we developed unique neural pathways. Fear still triggers our fight-or-flight response, but we simultaneously activate problem-solving brain regions." Professor Ramirez stepped forward to explain the next slides. These scans compare brain activity in Valorians and humans experiencing identical fear stimuli. Notice the key difference. Valorian higher reasoning centers essentially shut down during fear, while human brains show increased activity in these regions. Dr. Zorbix, now serving as special advisor to the council, asked a question. "This explains human functionality during crisis, but not why humans deliberately seek dangerous activities for entertainment." Willis nodded. "That's our most unusual adaptation. Humans use controlled exposure to fear as a form of inoculation against real danger. What we call entertainment, most species would call nightmare simulation." He displayed examples of human recreational activities, rock climbing, skydiving, horror movies, roller coasters. These activities trigger fear responses in safe environments, Ramirez explained. This trains our brains to process fear signals without becoming incapacitated by them. We actually develop positive associations with overcoming these controlled fears. Jack Miller added a practical perspective. When I was training new military recruits, we intentionally put them in stressful situations. The ones who enjoyed the challenge usually became our best crisis responders. Council member Ziftax looked troubled. Are you suggesting that what terrifies us entertains you? Sometimes, Susan answered honestly. Not because we're insensitive to danger, but because we've evolved to find satisfaction in facing challenges. It's how we prepare for a world that constantly tries to kill us. After the presentation, the council opened the hall for a cultural exchange exhibition. The different species shared aspects of their entertainment and recreation. The human display drew the most attention and the most concern. Video screens showed humans enjoying roller coasters, bungee jumping, and haunted houses. A virtual reality setup allowed aliens to experience mild versions of these activities. Most declined after seeing other delegates' reactions. One young Valorian scientist named Zevrix approached the VR display with unusual curiosity. I have studied human psychology extensively, he told Linda Ramirez. I wish to try your roller coaster simulation. His colleagues warned against it, but Zevrix insisted. The humans helped him into the VR headset and started the mildest program, AID, or simple roller coaster with gentle hills and turns. Within seconds, Zevrix's skin rippled through all warning colors. The attendants prepared to shut down the simulation, but Zevrix held up a trembling limb, signaling to continue. When the brief ride ended, he removed the headset with shaking appendages. The other Valorians rushed forward, expecting him to collapse. Instead, he turned to Ramirez with wide eyes. That was terrible, he said, yet also fascinating. My fear response was extreme, but I also experienced something else, a chemical reaction I've never felt before. Ramirez smiled. Probably adrenaline combined with dopamine, what we call a thrill. Your brain registered both danger and safety simultaneously, creating a novel experience. I wish to try again, Zevrix said, surprising everyone. News of Zevrix's experience spread quickly through the exhibition hall. By day's end, 12 delegates from various species had attempted the human VR experiences. All found them terrifying, but a few, like Zevrix, also discovered something unexpected. A new kind of exhilaration. That evening, the council reconvened for final discussions. Council leader Voxnar addressed the assembly. Today's presentations have provided valuable insights into human psychology. We now better understand how they function during crisis and why they engage in behaviors we find confusing or disturbing. Dr. Zorbix requested permission to speak. Based on today's findings and my own research, I propose a new classification for Earth. Not just Death World, but Crucible World, a planet whose harsh conditions forged a species that transformed fear itself into strength. The Council voted unanimously to adopt this new classification. Ambassador Zixtil rose next. When we first encountered humans, we thought them reckless, perhaps even suicidal. The Proxima rescue mission changed my perspective. What looked like disregard for danger was actually confidence born from preparation. Humans don't ignore risks. They prepare for them in ways we never imagined. As the formal session ended, Jack Miller and Susan Wright watched the proceedings with satisfaction. They're finally getting it, Jack observed. We're not crazy for laughing at danger. Susan nodded. We laugh because the alternative is to be paralyzed by it. And on Earth, paralysis means death. After the council session, an unexpected cultural shift began. Zevrix established the first human psychology study group among young Valorian scientists. They cautiously experimented with mild forms of what humans called thrill-seeking, starting with slightly spicy foods and very gentle VR experiences. Other species began similar programs. No non-human would ever enjoy the extreme conditions, humans thrived in, but many discovered they could expand their comfort zones through controlled exposure. Some even reported feeling exhilarated after facing minor fears and overcoming them. 6 months later, humanity celebrated another milestone, the first interspecies expedition to explore a marginally habitable planet. The team included members from 4 species, including zebriks. The non-humans relied on protective gear, but they volunteered despite the risks, inspired by the human approach to challenge. At the mission launch ceremony, Ambassador Zixtil delivered a speech that captured the new understanding between species. When we first encountered humans, we thought we knew terror, until we saw what Death Worlders were laughing at. Now we understand it wasn't madness we were seeing, but perhaps the highest form of courage in the galaxy. Humans don't just endure their harsh world, they find joy in overcoming its challenges. He raised his ceremonial cup in a toast. To our human friends, who taught us that fear need not paralyze, that danger can be faced with determination, and that sometimes the best response to terror is laughter. The human delegation smiled, raising their cups in return. On the viewing platform, Dr. Zorbix watched with scientific satisfaction. His research had shown that while non-humans would never match humans' comfort with danger, they could learn from it. Already, emergency response rates had improved across several species thanks to training methods inspired by human practices. As the expedition ship launched toward the stars, Zorbix reflected on how much had changed in just 1 year. Humans had not only joined the galactic community, they had fundamentally altered it, challenging assumptions about fear and courage that had stood for millennia. And perhaps, he thought, that was exactly what the galaxy needed. Species who could laugh in the face of danger and teach others to do the same.
The garage smelled like ozone, melted tire rubber, and what Raphael confidently described as the ghost of a subwoofer. There had been a band rehearsal, technically a rehearsal of controlled pyrotechnics and sonic ambience, per Link's latest court-acceptable terminology, and as usual, it ended with a bang. Specifically, the kind of bang that embedded their parents' BMW halfway into the garage ceiling. Again, I think it's better this time, Raphael offered, brushing dust from his hoodie, which was also on fire. The trajectory was cleaner. Link poked at the carbonized remains of a guitar pedal with the tip of his sneaker. It's still vibrating, he noted. Is that structural? Above them, the BMW rotated slightly, nudged by a piece of shattered drum cymbal that had somehow lodged into the chassis like a throwing star. Somewhere deeper in the house, a smoke alarm was either having a stroke or composing its first techno album. They had 5 minutes, maybe less. The parents were en route, summoned by the explosion detection app tied to their insurance premiums. The last time it had gone off, a drone delivered a cease and desist from the local zoning board before the smoke even cleared. Raphael lunged for the mop, Link for the fire extinguisher, and both moved with the careful speed of people who had once, in the pursuit of art, set a kitchen blender to puree and fed it raw fireworks. The cleanup effort was valiant. That was the best anyone would say. By the time the sleek black car pulled into the smoking remnants of the driveway, Link had successfully reattached the mailbox using duct tape, optimism, and 2 stolen forks. And Raphael had spray-painted a mural over the scorched garage wall in hopes that they'd just vibe with it. They didn't. The moment the doors opened, the air filled with the sharp scent of high society disappointment. Mr. Masters, whose smile had once negotiated 7 mergers and 1 interplanetary resource treaty, blinked at the carnage as though trying to process whether the laws of physics or manners had failed harder. Mrs. Chains wore sunglasses so expensive they had their own offshore bank account. She took one slow look at the scene, adjusted her scarf, and said only, "Military school." "No," Mr. Masters said. "Worse, independence." 2 hours later, Raphael and Link were being driven, unsupervised, to what would soon be the weirdest footnote in American classified history. They sulked in silence across the black leather seats of the family hover SUV, technically legal only in Nevada, but their parents had connections. "You realize this is just exile with a minibar," Link muttered, At least we'll finally have space to blow things up without blowing up anyone else's assets, Raphael said, ever the optimist. The house was modern in the way that buildings designed by AI architects who had only ever seen furniture catalogs tend to be. The front room had a pool table positioned where a dining table might have gone, a fridge the size of a crypt, and art so minimalist it was possibly an elaborate prank. The backyard featured a small pool, a malfunctioning grill, and perhaps most importantly, no neighbors for at least 3 miles in any direction. They set up the band equipment in the front room within an hour. Within 2, they had already overloaded 1 circuit breaker. It was during the installation of what Link called the real bass cannon Mark IV that the first accident of significance occurred. "Did we have concrete behind that wall before?" Raphael asked, frowning as the last of the dust settled. The blast had taken out most of the southern basement wall. Where once there had been a suspiciously reinforced panel, now there was a heavy steel door, fused at the seams with the kind of aesthetic that whispered government secrets and possibly radiation. It had no handle, no keypad, no obvious way to open, which of course meant they were definitely going to try. It took them half an hour and 3 questionable applications of crowbars, electromagnets, and 1 leftover band cymbal, but eventually the thing hissed open with the reluctant sigh of a facility waking from a half-century nap. Inside was an elevator. Service elevator, Link noted, but like aggressively serious service, possibly involving black sites. Raphael pressed the only button available. The door shut behind them with the finality of a submarine hatch. The floor began to hum. Somewhere several hundred feet below, in a dimly lit control room lined with blinking lights, unfinished pizza crusts, and Cold War coffee cups, a janitor named Stanley Jensen opened one eye. He'd been napping since 1987, officially. The CIA had classified the facility mothballed and sealed, which in practice meant they forgot it existed after a change in budget lines, and the intern who used to file things under Nevada left for law school. Stanley wasn't bothered. He liked it here. It was quiet. Everything worked. The robots were polite. Occasionally, the internal AI would play reruns of Gilligan's Island, which he found soothing. He was, in his own way, the last warden of a forgotten frontier of American insanity. Until now. He reached for the phone. It was still wired. He dialed the emergency line, one of only 3 numbers he still remembered. "Jensen," he said. "God, you're still alive," the voice on the other end muttered. "You mothballed the lab, not me. What's the status? We've got visitors." "Agents? No, teenagers." Silence. "Can you contain them?" "Nope. New property owners, apparently. Legal. Transfer filed with the county. I checked. The land deed says masters and chains, joint custody." A sigh. Then observe. "I was planning to nap." "You can nap between disasters." "Fine." By the time the elevator opened for Raphael and Link, Stanley had switched into his janitor uniform, a decision he would later regret, and was hiding behind a wall of old soda machines, watching 2 of America's wealthiest teenagers walk into a facility that hadn't seen a human under the age of 50 since before disco died. Link found the snack machine first. "Still stocked," he said, awed. Raphael was looking at the map. "This place has levels, like 32. One's labeled temporal R&D. You think that's like watches?" "Sure," Raphael said. "Probably watches." Somewhere deeper in the complex, unnoticed by anyone, a light flickered on above a button. The button read, clearly, "Do not press." It was glowing. Naturally, they pressed it. The button clicked with a satisfying mechanical thunk, followed by a chirp that sounded suspiciously cheerful for something likely built during a time when computers still required punch cards and mild paranoia. Lights hummed on in distant corridors. Somewhere far below, a ventilation system wheezed to life. A siren coughed once, decided against it, and went back to sleep. "I feel like we just did a thing," Link said, staring at the now depressed button. "Technically," Raphael replied, "we did exactly the one thing the sign said not to. I mean, that's not legally binding. No, but it does feel spiritually inadvisable." The room did not explode. No poison gas hissed from the vents. No countdown began. In fact, absolutely nothing appeared to happen, which was worse. "Well," Raphael said, brushing imaginary dust from his jacket, "I guess it's broken." Link eyed it warily. Or we just started a process, a slow, chemical, catastrophic process. They left the room, partly out of growing boredom, and partly because a vending machine in the corner was flashing the words, "Fresh pizza available," in bright green font. Oh, no, Stanley whispered from behind his soda machines. Not the pizza trigger. It had been a mistake, a simple misfile. One technician had once ordered pizza on government time, and during a system upgrade, the lab's AI had mistakenly linked several non-critical processes to the term pizza protocol. Now, buried deep within the facility, two long dormant chemical canisters began to leak into one another. Their names were unpronounceable in English, but the effect was simple. When mixed, they reconstituted an alien biogenic organism believed to be a prototype reconnaissance unit sent by a species whose only exposure to Earth came from intercepted cartoon broadcasts and reruns of Italian cooking shows. The creature had been secured in 1968 after it declared war on a Chuck E. Cheese, and now it was waking up. Meanwhile, upstairs in what was now, legally, a living room with too many wires and not enough adult supervision, Raphael and Link had set up what they believed to be a surveillance command center. In reality, they had plugged several dusty monitors into a mainframe that once ran threat simulations against the Soviets, and were now using it to stream retro anime and security cam footage from the facility. Did you know there's a level just labeled Cursed Objects? And another marked Shoe Protocol Testing? Why are those separate things? Link asked. I don't know, but there's a room full of helmets that seem to whisper threats. That's kind of neat. Link leaned back on the couch, munching on vending machine protein chips that were definitely older than either of them. I thought this was going to be awful, isolated house in the woods, band exile, but this is like best case scenario. Right? I mean, we're not alone. We've got a nuclear basement full of secret toys. And at that moment, from one of the abandoned lower corridors, a green mist curled into the air. It twisted, swirled, pulsed, and then began to congeal. The being took shape slowly. It had limbs, but no bones. Eyes, but too many. A mouth, but no sense of volume control. It flickered in and out of phase as it adjusted to its surroundings. Then it spoke. In a perfect imitation of a 1990s cartoon sidekick, it said, "Where's the pizza, baby?" The facility shuddered slightly. A few control panels exploded out of sheer embarrassment. Somewhere in the AI subroutines, 3 separate firewalls declared bankruptcy. Back upstairs, Stanley finally revealed himself. He did not do this with flair. He simply walked into the room wearing his janitor's coveralls, holding a mop like it was both a weapon and a philosophy. "You idiots touched the button, didn't you?" Link yelped and dropped his snack. Raphael pointed a potato chip at him. "You're real?" Stanley sighed. "Unfortunately, and so is the thing you just woke up." "What thing?" "The green thing." "That's not very descriptive," Link said. "No," Stanley agreed, "but trust me, you'll know it when it finds you, or pizza." "Wait, why would it be looking for pizza?" Stanley looked at them like a man who had seen too much, lived too long, and once got into a fistfight with a self-aware filing cabinet. "Because," he said, "some genius decided to beam 11 years of Earth cartoon broadcasts into space as part of our diplomatic outreach program." "That seems like a terrible idea." It was. The alien you just woke up thinks Bugs Bunny is a war hero, SpongeBob is a tactical strategist, and Garfield is some kind of deity. Link frowned. "Is he wrong about Garfield, though?" The floor shook. A distant voice echoed through the ventilation shafts. "Show me the cheese-stuffed crust Earthlings." "Oh no," Stanley muttered. "It's already activated mimic mode." "Mimic what?" Raphael asked. Stanley gave them a look. "Cartoon logic." They heard the boing of a spring that had no physical origin. Then a whump as something green, bendy, and distinctly against all known physical laws bounced off the side of the house and rolled into a bush, where it promptly split in half and started arguing with itself over anchovies. Link turned to Raphael. "This is going to be awesome." The green thing, now 2 green things, were engaged in what appeared to be a heated debate over which fictional pizza was the most canonically powerful. One of them insisted it was the half-mushroom, half-justice pizza from Captain Space Slice. The other claimed with great conviction that the cheese swirl in Power Pie Patrol Episode 9, Crust Crusade, could bend time. They were gesticulating wildly, limbs flopping in directions that would make most physicists cry as they bounced across the backyard at speeds usually reserved for malfunctioning particle accelerators. Inside the house, Raphael was pressed against the glass of the sliding door, watching the debate unfold like a kid spotting Santa, fighting a raccoon. "So, what exactly do they do?" he asked. Stanley, who had retrieved a clipboard from an emergency locker marked "to" for when the cartoon thing wakes up, flipped a few pages. "They save people." "That's good. By accident. Less good. And only while trying to obtain pizza." Link blinked. "You mean they don't actually care about helping?" "No. Think of them like a slapstick guardian angel with a one-track mind, a deep misunderstanding of the food pyramid, and no off switch." Raphael turned from the window, thoughtful. "So if we're in danger, they'll probably burst through a wall, trip over themselves, bounce off several exposed pipes, accidentally disable a bomb, and land in a delivery box," Stanley said. "If you're lucky. And if we're not lucky, they order anchovies. Nobody survives anchovies." The floor trembled again. From the main hallway came a screech, followed by a sonic boom that reversed half the light bulbs in the ceiling. One of the green things burst into the living room, its eyes wide and glistening. "We sensed a Domino's," it declared, then vanished into the pantry. There was a pause, a long, horrified pause. Raphael coughed. "So, subplots." Link, without missing a beat, pointed toward the garage. "Well, subplot number 1, we may have accidentally triggered a defense drone." "How?" "I tried to see if the old VR rig still worked." "Did it?" "No. But the VR helmet is now fused to the vacuum cleaner, which seems to believe it's an elite Marine. It's taken up a sniper position on the roof and keeps yelling about sector clearances." Stanley did not groan. Stanley was past groaning. He merely opened a side cabinet, removed what appeared to be a tranquilizer dart the size of a loaf of bread, and handed it to Raphael. "Hit it in the Roomba port." "Noted." As Raphael left to disarm the aggressively tactical vacuum cleaner, Link tapped at one of the still active consoles. "Hey, subplot number 2 might be unfolding on level 14. Stanley joined him and squinted at the monitor. A grainy black and white feed showed one of the lab's secure chambers, the one labeled Experimental Chronobehavioral Reversals, now open, lights on. "Oh no," Stanley muttered, "the time rats." Link slowly turned. "Time? Rats? They're rats, right?" Stanley said, rubbing his temple. "But when startled, they reverse their own personal timeline by several seconds. Makes them impossible to trap." "That sounds cute," Stanley offered. "I was going to say a statistical nightmare. They've bred since the 60s. Nobody checked how many. They could be in the walls." "Are they dangerous?" "Only if you observe them. Like really observe them. There's a threshold of awareness. Once you pass it, they start treating you like a threat. How will I know if I've passed it? You'll see a rat reading." Link glanced nervously at the monitor again. "Well, subplot 2 is now about stopping time-literate rodents before they achieve a breakthrough." Outside, Raphael had subdued the vacuum. It wasn't easy. It required a trampoline, 3 full bottles of soda, and a half-played Kenny Loggins cassette that, for some reason, caused the drone to enter reflective nostalgia mode. Once it began weeping about its simulated war buddies in Operation Hardwood Dustpan, he hit it with the dart and stuffed it under a tarp. He walked back inside just in time for the power to flicker and a soft humming sound to rise from the floorboards. In the center of the living room, the green things had rejoined, fusion apparently triggered by the smell of reheated pizza rolls, and were now glowing faintly. "What now?" Raphael asked. "They're stabilizing," Stanley said warily. "Is that good?" "Debatable. Usually means they've found a chosen one figure in the area." Both teens turned to look at each other. The green thing pointed directly at Stanley. Everyone froze. "Oh no," Stanley said, horror rising in his voice. "You have the cheese wisdom," the green thing declared. "No, I don't. You once worked at a pizzeria in 1974. I ran the register. Then it is you who shall lead us to the sacred slice." The lights dimmed. A low chant began, possibly from the house's intercom, possibly from the green thing's internal soundboard. Raphael patted Stanley on the back. "You'll be fine. I'm 74 years old. I wanted to be left alone." Link grinned. "Then next time, don't build your hermit bunker on top of the gateway to cartoon-powered alien pizza mythology." The green thing extended a hand. "To the kitchen temple." and as Stanley was hoisted bodily into the air by squishy limbs and carried down the hallway in a tangle of enthusiasm, accidental destiny, and leftover marinara sauce, the house settled again. Momentarily. Link turned to Raphael. So, you think they'll ever find out we faked the sale paperwork on this house? Raphael shrugged. Depends how long it takes the CIA to get bored again. They high-fived. The facility hummed beneath them, a treasure trove of madness, secrets, weaponized kitchenware, and at least 6 unresolved conspiracy theories, all about to be made much, much worse. They were home. Stanley returned the next morning with pizza sauce in his beard, a haunted look in his eyes, and a stack of napkins imprinted with alien glyphs that, according to him, translated roughly to infinite cheese and your sauce is strong. He refused to speak of what had happened in the pantry temple. Just know this, he muttered as he shuffled to the couch and collapsed. The fridge is now sacred space. Enter with reverence, or not at all. Raphael saluted. So no more touching the meat drawer, no more opening it unless you wish to experience the memories of 1,000 forgotten toppings. Got it. Stanley groaned and turned on his side. You two are going to break causality like a glow stick at a rave. Link was flipping through the facility schematics they'd printed out on a repurposed dot matrix printer. So I was thinking, no, Stanley mumbled. We should probably check out that weird humming we keep hearing from sublevel 27. Stanley pulled a pillow over his head. There's a note next to it in the logs, Link continued. It says experimental empathy engine. Sounds harmless. Could be good, for therapy. Raphael was nodding enthusiastically. Right? Maybe it's like a mood enhancer. We could beam compassion across the world. It weaponizes feelings, Stanley groaned from beneath the pillow. Link paused. I mean, maybe just some feelings? Last time someone turned it on, an entire town in Iowa wept for 6 straight days. They held hands, planted a forest, and overthrew their zoning board, which admittedly was corrupt. I like trees, Raphael offered. I like zoning boards, Stanley growled. They keep the Taco Bells from touching the nuclear waste depositories. I'm just saying, Link added, if it's still working, maybe we could use it to boost morale. Like for the band. Raphael gasped. Yes, emotional resonance concert. Stanley sat up abruptly. Fine, but I'm coming with you. If that thing turns on and I see even one of you compose a song that causes an emotional breakdown in a 10-mile radius, I'm dragging your souls into the analog void personally. Sublevel 27 was, for lack of a better term, suspiciously well lit. The rest of the complex had that pleasant Cold War gloom. Corridors of beige metal, flickering fluorescent tubes, and ominous safety posters featuring cartoon mascots with dead eyes. But 27, it was backlit in soft blues and purples. The floor hummed gently, and somewhere in the distance, a harp was playing. This place smells like aromatherapy, Link said. Raphael inhaled. Lavender and... is that cinnamon toast? Do not relax, Stanley warned. It feeds on emotional openness. The empathy engine sat at the center of a large circular chamber. It resembled a satellite dish crossed with a music box and a particularly judgmental sentient tulip. Small tuning forks rotated around it, vibrating faintly with each footstep. Link approached the console. It's warm. It wants to feel you, Stanley said grimly. It's like a big emotional Roomba. That's not comforting. Raphael gently pressed the console's main interface, which resembled a heart encased in crystal. A soft chime echoed through the room. Then, nothing. Maybe it's out of juice, Link offered. And then the walls spoke, not with words, but with feeling. A wave of pure melancholy surged through the chamber, mild at first, like remembering a forgotten birthday, then more intense, like the final note of a really good series finale. Raphael dropped to his knees. I miss my hamster. You never had a hamster, Stanley pointed out. I miss the idea of a hamster. Link stared at his hands. My fingers are just tiny arms with fingernails. That's so weird. Stanley wobbled. Nope, no thank you. We are shutting this down. But before he could reach the failsafe, the green thing arrived, bouncing, oscillating, arms wide and full of vending machine pepperoni. I heard your feelings from upstairs, it declared. You require pizza hugs. The empathy engine, sensing a being of undefined emotional parameters, spun faster. The air turned pink. Oh no, Stanley said. It's sinking. What does that mean? Link asked. Ever see a cartoon have a romantic meltdown and an existential crisis at the same time? No, you're about to. The green thing paused, cocked its head, and then split, this time into 3 smaller versions of itself, each one representing a different emotional state. Sad one, wailed the first. Why does the pizza never love me back? Happy one, cheered the second. I found a slice in the ceiling tile. Angry one, snarled the third. Anchovies are a crime against culinary dignity. The empathy engine began to spark. Its tuning forks turned red. The walls wept, actual tears. Stanley didn't wait. He lunged forward, slapped the failsafe override with the authority of a man who'd shut down psychic pancake riots before, and killed the power. The green things merged, belched emotionally, and collapsed into a giggling pile of goo. Everyone stood still. Then Raphael clapped. 10 out of 10. Would empathize again. Stanley just shook his head. You're both disasters. Link offered him a napkin from his back pocket. You've got emotional discharge on your shoulder. Of course I do. That night, as the house settled once more and the facility returned to its odd hum, Stanley sat on the porch with the boys. The stars were bright. The air smelled like ozone and expired snack food. You know, Stanley said after a long silence, I was planning to retire in this bunker. Quietly, fade into history. Instead, you got us, Raphael said proudly. 2 unqualified teenagers, a cartoon-obsessed alien, and an unlicensed time lab. Link raised his soda can. To weird roommates. Stanley sighed, but it was lighter this time. To weird roommates. Somewhere below, in the deepest part of the facility, a light blinked on in a chamber simply labeled Level. The blinking light in Level C was technically speaking not supposed to exist, not because it was dangerous, though it absolutely was, but because the paperwork required to create a Level C was so convoluted that even the CIA, a historically paperwork-forward organization, had decided it was easier to lose the blueprints and bribe the janitor to forget it, which in theory had worked until now. Do you smell that? Link asked over breakfast the next morning. Burnt electricity and nostalgia. Raphael sniffed the air. That's either the toaster or we've triggered another forbidden system. Stanley entered the kitchen with his usual pre-coffee limp. He opened the fridge, hesitated, bowed slightly, and withdrew a sacred soda. He had adapted. No more buttons, he warned. We didn't press anything, Raphael said. This time, Link clarified. Stanley stared at them over the rim of his mug. Okay, we didn't press anything, Raphael amended. But the green thing. Stanley's hand hit the table like a gavel. If you finish that sentence with might have sat on the nuclear console because it thought it was a bouncy castle, I will lock you both in the empathy chamber for 24 hours of intense feeling. They were silent. Guilty. Slightly impressed. I told you it was shaped like a trampoline, Link muttered. Stanley sighed the long, low sigh of a man who had once diffused an interdimensional landmine using only a mop and a jazz record. Well, he said, might as well get ahead of it. Follow me. They took elevator D, which only went one direction, down, and required a key card, a blood sample, and the ability to recite the second stanza of the national anthem backwards. Stanley, of course, had long since replaced the blood scanner with a warm cup of black coffee. It was easier that way. Level 3 didn't have walls so much as it had implications. The moment the elevator opened, the air changed. It smelled of circuits, secrets, and popcorn from a timeline that never happened. The room beyond was vast, so vast that the ceiling wasn't visible and the floor looked like glass, or maybe a lake pretending to be a floor. And in the middle of it was a cube, perfect, floating, buzzing with potential. The green thing floated beside it, wide-eyed. I touched it, it whispered. Of course you did, Stanley muttered. What is it? Raphael asked, stepping closer. The archetype core, Stanley said. It's a story engine. Like a narrative generator? No. A literal engine that fuels plot lines, unresolved conflicts, prophecy arcs, love triangles, weirdly convenient flashbacks. Link's eyes lit up. So you're saying this powers stories? Yes. Can we use it to get a Grammy? No. Can we use it to turn our band into an intergalactic myth with a tragic backstory and a 3-act structure? Stanley turned slowly. Did you two read the part of the orientation packet labeled, "Do not treat the narrative drive as a toy"? No, Raphael said. There was an orientation packet? Link asked. Stanley looked at the cube. The cube hummed back. He rubbed his face. Listen to me very carefully. If this thing fully activates, you don't get a story. You live one, and you don't get to choose the genre. What's wrong with that? Raphael asked. It assigns arcs, gives everyone a role in the narrative ecosystem. You might think you're the protagonist, he pointed at Link, but what if the story decides you're the mentor who dies in Act 2? Hey, Link said. Or the comic relief character who accidentally triggers the apocalypse. Raphael blinked. That actually sounds kind of on brand. The cube pulsed again. A faint melody filled the air, minor key, foreboding. Then a voice spoke. It was neither male nor female, old nor young. It simply was. Identities assigned, story initialization, beginning. No, Stanley muttered. No. Characters, the innocent, the trickster, the watcher, the fool. Oh no, Link said. We're in a Joseph Campbell situation. I always wanted to be the trickster, Raphael said brightly. You're the fool, Stanley growled. We're all the fool. That's the problem. Suddenly, reality tilted. The walls folded inward. The floor glass rippled like water. The air itself seemed to chuckle. And then, cut to, flashback. They were in a black and white 1950s diner. Link wore suspenders. Raphael had a pompadour. Stanley was inexplicably wearing a milkman uniform and holding a wrench labeled exposition. What is happening? Stanley muttered. I think we're in a flashback cutaway gag, Link said. It's doing metaplot. Do you want the exposition now, sir? Said a small, robotic waitress with googly eyes. Stanley hurled the wrench at the jukebox. The diner exploded in a puff of script notes and surrealism. They were back. All right, Stanley said, brushing existential residue off his pants. New rule, we put the cube back to sleep. How? Raphael asked. We create a resolution. You mean? Yes, Stanley gritted his teeth. You have to finish a subplot. By now, the green thing had assembled what it called a Team Pizza Justice Squad. It had taped googly eyes to a mop, given the vacuum a sword, and declared Link Supreme Commander of Sauce. It was organizing a plan to raid the military museum wing and recover what it claimed was the eternal pepperoni blade. Meanwhile, the empathy engine had turned back on by itself and was now broadcasting soft jazz across all frequencies in an effort to soothe the cube. Stanley did not scream. He merely sighed, bent down, and opened a crate labeled Plot Device, Use Only, If Desperate. Inside was a box of costume mustaches, a chalkboard, and one pre-written dramatic betrayal. I hate this place, he muttered. But as the cube pulsed, the world wavered, and a sudden mini-musical sequence began to creep in through the speakers. Stanley knew one thing for sure. If he didn't resolve a subplot fast, he'd be singing his feelings in the next 5 minutes. And nobody, not even fate, wanted to see that. It started, as most accidental musicals do, with the chalkboard. Stanley held the stub of a government-issued chalk stick, hefted like a weapon, and stared grimly at the boys across the glassy floor of level Blasake. The archetype core pulsed behind him, rhythmically thumping like it had swallowed a Broadway orchestra. I need a subplot, he said through gritted teeth. One that ends, not unravels, not grows legs, not explodes, ends, wraps, resolves. Link blinked. You mean like the emotional arc of a side character? Yes. Raphael perked up. Ooh, I nominate Stanley. No. Yes, Link agreed. The reclusive janitor with a tragic past. You've got all the setup, gruff demeanor, mysterious files, emotional baggage, probably a lost love. Shut up. Maybe, Raphael said dreamily. He lost someone during his time in the sentient crockpot division. A forbidden kitchen love. I said shut up. The archetype core flared. Somewhere overhead, ghostly musical chords began to descend like fog. Stanley looked upward and screamed, No, I will not sing. The music paused, temporarily. But the rules were clear now. A subplot must conclude or the song would come. With jazz hands. Fine, Stanley growled. Fine, I have a subplot, one that's been hanging around this damn place since Nixon took his lunch break. He stomped to a panel on the far side of the chamber and pressed a recessed button labeled Retired Files, Unsolved, Unapproved, Just Weird. With a hiss, the wall opened. Inside was a single file folder, thick, yellowed, slightly damp. Its tab read, Operation Gravy Phoenix. Link squinted. That sounds edible? It wasn't, Stanley muttered. It was a counter-espionage project, canceled in '73 after the subject, Agent Gloria Kane, defected. To the Soviets? Raphael asked. No, to a commune in northern Vermont. Built a yurt, started selling emotionally conscious jams. The boys nodded solemnly. This was still, technically, espionage. Stanley handed them a photograph from the folder. In it, a young Stanley, hair thick, uniform crisp, mustache unforgivably sincere, stood next to a woman in a trench coat holding a telekinetic fork. This was the mission that broke me, he said quietly. They told me she was rogue, a threat, but she just wanted out, wanted peace, and He trailed off. You let her go, Link said. I did, and I lied about it. Filed a report saying she fell into a vat of government pudding. The archetype core thrummed. The color shifted. Less threatening now, more intrigued. Stanley set the photo down reverently. I resolve it now. I did the right thing. I never saw her again, but she deserved better than a government lab and a folder labeled possibly friendly, definitely weird. The boys were quiet. Then, slowly, the archetype core's glow softened. The melodic pressure faded, and one final line, clear, resonant, absolute, echoed through the chamber. Subplot resolved, narrative containment stabilized. The cube dimmed, the lights returned to normal, and just like that, the musical was canceled. Good job, Raphael said, clapping Stanley on the shoulder. Yeah, Link added. No singing. That's a win. Stanley didn't answer. He was holding something. A jam jar. It hadn't been there a moment ago. The label was handwritten. For SJ Extra Apricot, no regrets. He didn't say a word, just tucked it into his jacket and walked toward the elevator. The green thing poked its head in, saw that the music was gone, and visibly deflated. I was gonna tap dance with my cheese. Next time, Raphael promised. Maybe in the episode where you find the pizza dimension. The green thing gasped, there is a dimension! Not yet, but give us time. That night, the team sat under the stars again, this time with an illegal cheese fondue kit and 3 lawn chairs shaped like old Mars probes. So what did we learn today?